when was the last time you saw someone score with one? We're going to take a look at why we're not really seeing them anymore and also explain a bit more about how they work. The knuckleball peaked in the 2010s, probably because that Ronaldo strike in 2008 inspired academy players everywhere. Here's a young Mason Mount.
I tried to base my free kick on Ronaldo, hit the ball by the valve and it moves. So what do you do? Top corner, top bins.
The name knuckleball comes from a baseball pitch held with the knuckles rather than the fingertips, which doesn't spin as it travels. Now, no ball is a perfect sphere, so as it travels, it creates ever-changing pockets of turbulent air, causing that unpredictable movement. Brazilian free-kick specialist Juninho Pernambucano wasn't the first player to do it, but he did perfect it, scoring 77 free-kicks over his career, more than anyone else. He was inspired by 90s midfielder Marcelinho Carioca and a guy called Didi, who was hitting knuckleballs in the 50s and 60s. Brazilians call it the dry leaf, because the ball looks like a leaf that gets blown around in the wind this way and that. So how do you do it? The key point is to hit the ball head-on, usually with a straighter run-up. It's a punch-like shot and, crucially, as short a contact time as possible so the ball doesn't spin. Some people think players hit the valve to affect the air inside the ball. That's not the reason. It's because the part of the ball around the valve is more rigid, helping to shorten that contact time. Remember the David Luiz beauty against Colombia in the 2014 World Cup? We don't really see knuckleballs anymore. Why? Because players are being told not to shoot from dead ball situations because the XG is so low. In fact, as Opta shows here, since the 08-09 season, there's been a 10% reduction in players shooting from free kicks in the Premier League. In 23-24, a record low of 11 free kicks found the back of the net. And the knuckleball, by its very nature, is imprecise, which is why it's becoming a thing of the past.
Hello, a very good evening and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. talkSPORT Goals is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing. It is 18 plus at gambleaware.org. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. And tonight, well, it's a simple one, really. Our attention is on one game and one game only. Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest in the Europa League semi-finals second leg. The winner goes to the final, a chance of getting their hands on European silverware, and hey, as a Brucey bonus, well, certainly for Forest anyway, the chance of getting into the Champions League. It is a big, big night at Villa Park. It's going to be buzzing. It is going to be electric. We're taking you to the game tonight live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and on your smart TVs. And I am delighted to say that to my left-hand side in the Nottingham Forest corner is talkSPORT presenter, reporter, familiar voice and face, I'm sure, for all of you, Max Scott. And to my left-hand side, direct left-hand side, representing Team Aston Villa, he looks a nervous man. He goes by the name of Gabby Bono. And I'm led to believe, Gabby, this whole thing was your idea?
It was my idea, and today I've dreaded the idea. I've got changed 3 times. I have my Villa strip on, my home Villa strip, my away Villa strip. I got changed, yeah. I wanted to have it all on, but I decided to go with just a moody grey top.
Yeah, I'm a little bit upset that neither of you have gone with any sort of colours tonight, Max, of Forest. Yeah, maybe not the full kit, but a jumper or retro shirt, something like that.
The thing is, Gab's just been sort of chilling all day because he's in the sort of elite level at talkSPORT. I've been grafting my backside off all day. I've been on our new talkSPORT US show called The S Word.
Lovely.
And then I've been hosting the social on talkSPORT too. And so I thought I couldn't walk around this corporate building with a Forest top on.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
And I don't wear a Forest top when I go to the games. I usually just wear it to the gym or in the living room.
And also, Sam, maybe people would have walked past him and said, "What team is that?"
They said, is that 2 stars on the badge?
Yeah. It is. Oh,
very good. Also, I mean, I'm going to say, Max, is the voice going to make it through tonight? I mean, you've been grafting the last couple of weeks or so.
Yeah, I know. It is. But if Forest score, afterwards, I might be struggling.
Yeah.
But no, the vibes from Vitor Pereira are getting me through, Sam. And look, what I will say straight off the bat is, and I was speaking to Dan Bardell, friend of talkSPORT, big Villa fan who's at the game tonight, on the social earlier. I've got to say, look, gloves are off once the first whistle, but as a football fan outside of London, from the Midlands, with rich European history, but in recent history for the last generation, it's been up and down. Forest and Villa have a lot of respect. I've had mates text me today saying they're in bars drinking with Villa fans, and I think there's a lot of respect between the two clubs. And I think this is a great occasion for football in the Midlands or football outside of London. So I think it's going to be a great occasion tonight. Two big teams.
As a neutral, I think this is such a great time because maybe younger fans aren't, but I'm aware of Aston Villa's history. Yeah. And I know there might be some people that they don't remember or don't even know that both the teams you support have won European trophies before.
This is a throwback to the 70s and 80s.
And the big ones, exactly that.
Where Forest and Villa were huge teams in Europe.
Let me go through the teams because both teams are interesting. In particular, Aston Villa. Emi Martinez in goal. We think it's going to be a back four like normal of Cash, Konza, Torres and Dean. Tielemans will sit alongside, we know there's no Amadou Onana, so we think Victor Lindelof is going to play alongside Tielemans in the 2. Then you got McGinn, Rogers, Buendia supporting Watkins for Forest, Morgan Gibbs-White in the squad but on the bench, Ortega in goal, Jair Cunha, Milenkovic, Morato, Williams the back four, Sano Olaina in the starting 11 for Forest, Jair Cunha, a centre-back by trade, will play at right-back tonight. Dominguez Anderson will sit, Hutchinson McAtee out wide, then a front 2 of Igor Jesus and Chris Wood. Gabs, let's focus for the time being on Aston Villa. There is absolutely no doubt, whether you like Villa or not, you have to respect the job that Unai Emery has done in Aston Villa over the last 3 or 4 years, coming into a team fighting relegation, having you in a Champions League quarter-final, now a Europa League semi-final. But he needs that trophy, doesn't he? This Villa team have been so good for so long, they deserve to end this season with something in their hands.
I think you look at Aston Villa at the moment, you look at his squad of players, they're an ageing squad. I'm sure, I think it was the Fulham game where 2 weeks ago where the average age of the starting team was 29, nearly 30 years of age. I think it was the oldest since 2001 under John Gregory. So this team, this era is going to start changing, and the Villa fans, the players, the club want to look back at this Unai Emery era as long as it lasts, winning trophies, winning things, because amazing getting Champions League football, but they don't want to be remembered, the group of players that lost in the semi-finals to Olympiacos, lost in the semi-final of the FA Cup to Crystal Palace. Then, if they lost tonight, it's going to be thrown at these players that they can't turn up in the big ties.
Because I know that he made changes on Sunday and the performance wasn't good on Sunday, but correct me if I'm wrong here, but looking in, there maybe does feel like there's a bit of nervousness around Villa. And is that because in the last couple of years, whether it was that FA Cup semi-final, that you haven't got over the line? Can that, a bit like people say it affects Arsenal, getting over the line and winning that Premier League? Are Villa in a similar position, Gary?
100%, and the pressure is on tonight. I mean, when you perform like that, like they did against Spurs on Sunday, that was walking football from Aston Villa. It was that bad. I always try and defend my club and players, but the fringe players, no wonder none of them are playing tonight. your Sanchos and Abrahams and these players that come in. Nottingham Forest rested loads of players. They're fringe players. They're hungry. They want to show the manager that I want to start on Thursday. Aston Villa was the opposite. I've been there. Sometimes you're not playing the big games and you're like, oh, you're playing me in this game against Spurs, and then you're resting the big boy guys for the European game. And it gave me that energy on them Sunday of players sulking, not really running around. And tonight they've got to turn up, because I'll tell you something, if they don't, it will get toxic tonight at Villa Park, because it's been 30 years, 1996 the last trophy. We've seen West Ham lift trophy, Spurs last season. We want a parade, Sam. We've got it set up, I'm ready. Do you know what I mean? I've got the route set up for the parade. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need it.
Do you reckon you'll make the bus? If you get a parade, do you reckon you'll be on the bus doing
There might be 5 buses. There might be the 5th bus. No, but you know what? It means so much to fans, because Villa have done Champions League. It's great. Looking like they might get top 5, Champions League again. But fans, they don't really care about what the money means to the club and how the club would rather Champions League football than winning a trophy. This is massive. Winning the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, anything is what fans want to remember. The older generation as well, want to think to themselves, you know what? It's been 30 years. This football club should be winning trophies. Look at Crystal Palace, FA Cup, Community Shield, could win the Conference League. They're used to winning trophies, their fans, and a club like Forest and Villa should be doing the same.
Do you feel you mentioned the ageing squad, Villa and Emery being at the club now for what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
How do you think he will be the man to be able to get you to the next level?
Yes, I do.
But okay, let me then rephrase that question. Will he be given the tools to get you to that next level? Because we know that PSR is PSR. It doesn't allow you Villa, you Newcastle just to go out there and say, hey, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, we're coming for you. Do you think this is the peak for Aston Villa? Europa League semi-final, final, coming top
I think it's the peak until the rules change. I really do. Because if you look at the January transfer window, look at Manchester City, Semenyo Gueye, there you go. How much is that? 120? No problem. Aston Villa, got to be clever, got to get Tammy Abraham in loan. Aston Villa, if they could have spent like Manchester City or the clubs in January, maybe they would have had a title surge. So it's different rules, and maybe the rules get changed. But the problems with Aston Villa last summer, Aston Villa spent 30 million, the lowest in the Premier League. The promoted sides, Sunderland, your 130s, 150 millions. Villa spent 30. So what the manager's done with his squad of players, I think, has been outstanding. So we can't forget that as Villa fans. Even though we want to win trophies, and if tonight doesn't go our way, we'll be disappointed. What he's done to be in the top 5 with that squad of players has been magnificent.
He is an elite level coach. Gabby, good stuff. Max, talking forwards with you. Other side of this break. Also, as well this evening, we won't forget that Crystal Palace are also in semi-final action this evening. That is in the UEFA Conference League. They're in a really, really healthy position. Last week, they went to Shakhtar Donetsk and picked up a 3-1 victory. Goals from Sar Kamada and Strand Larsen. So Crystal Palace in a really, really good position to get through to the Conference League finals, where they'll play Strasbourg or Real Vallecano. Real Vallecano 1-0 up from that first leg. And, of course, the other semi-final in the Europa League is Freiburg versus Sporting Braga. Sporting Braga 2-1 up from that. They're away this evening. In terms of our epic boost for Villa Nottingham Forest this evening, all of these are with our very good friends at William Hill. Aston Villa to score in the first half was 4-6, now evens. The epic boost in the Palace versus Shakhtar Donetsk game, Palace to lead at half-time, was evens. It is now 6-4. With William Hill, you can get ACCA boost on all of your accumulators with 4 or more picks. Tonight, it is up to a 100% boost for ACCAs or 15 legs, and it's 18 plus. Gamble aware. Talk. This is talkSPORT Goals and Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest watch along. Kickoff is in just short of 45 minutes.
All right, lads.
How are you, Bob?
All right, Bob.
Oh, buzzing. Absolutely
Congratulations.
buzzing.
Congratulations,
Fair
Bob.
Thank you very
play.
much.
Well
Thanks
done.
for being good sports and saying well done.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well, you know.
Hope you get pumped in the final.
Yeah. All of that.
Thank you very much. Is that against the Bayern Munich, who we've already beat 3-1? They didn't have a shot in the second half.
Doesn't matter. Let me tell you,
Against that team.
don't.
No, mate.
I wouldn't go down that route now. I wouldn't be. What I'll be doing.
But it doesn't matter when either of them teams can't even defend.
It
None
doesn't.
of them can defend.
Yeah, I would be very careful about talking about.
Arsenal have conceded 6 goals in the Champions League.
Yeah, I know, and defensively
6
the best
goals.
side. But I'll be very careful about talking about what you've done in previous games, because I seem to remember you actually beat PSG last season as well.
Haven't we kept more clean sheets than Bruno Fernandes assists this year? That's all we're talking about. Bruno Fernandes assists. If this was Manchester
Do
City,
you know what, right?
oh my God, we'd be all over it though, wouldn't we?
Blob,
if this was
Blob,
Man City,
Blob.
oh, we'd all drop down and bow to them. We'd bend over.
Blob,
I'm
listen,
sorry,
Blob, listen. I
because
wouldn't.
This is Arsenal. Everyone's against us. Everyone has slagged us off all season. Our corners, our set play, our boringness. Champions League final. Not a game lost.
Blob,
Top of the Premier League.
Blob.
Yeah, go on then, mate.
I'm talking to
Go on
you.
then. Have your say, lads.
What I would do, I'd be very careful about talking about
Sorry,
that.
can I just say this is the Pinot Grigio speaking. I'm on my second bottle here. Crack on.
A very good evening and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. It is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing 18+, gambleaware.org. It's Sam Ellard, Gabby Abonlahor and Max Scott. We are taking you through. By the way, that does look cool, doesn't it? That little backdrop we got going on there.
Very good.
The Aston Villa. Yeah. By the way, this is just for you two. We have normally just Premier League teams, European teams, but when Gabby Abonlahor and Max Scott rock up to a talkSPORT Goals,
I don't think it's about us. I think it's about the heritage of our clubs.
It is.
Yes.
That's what it is. We've got big clubs.
Yes.
You know, it's always the London clubs. It's Manchester, Liverpool, and you know what I mean? Don't forget the Midlands clubs.
Don't forget the Aston Villa,
you know what I mean?
European Cup winners in 1982. Nottingham Forest, who had triumphed in the same competition, right, Max, in 79 and 80. I mean, Forest's European story unlikely to ever be replicated in terms of, you know, you were scraping for promotion, weren't you? From the second division in 1977, went up in third place. Brian Clough, rest is history, back-to-back European trophies. I mean, I know you obviously weren't born then, but is that something when you go to the City Ground, when you talk to parents, grandparents, that his name, what he did, it will literally obviously live on forever and ever and ever?
Mate, it's part of your DNA as a Forest supporting fan. It's the stories you've grown up on. Tales of travelling in Europe, fans cycling to Madrid for a final. You know, Nottingham taking over cities.
You wouldn't catch Gabby doing that, would you?
No. Those line bikes don't make it.
Private jet is not interested, Max. Carry on.
But no, so of course that is the Forest identity. You know, Brian Clough took the club from this sort of, you know, nowhere team, provincial club, small stadium, threatening to be relegated from the second division, and he put us on the map. And travelling in Europe this season, I've only been to one game away, but the amount of people that were like felt a privilege to play against Forest. You know, older men saying, you know, I remember this team. You know, their story will never be replicated. You know, and what Leicester did was obviously incredible, but I think people have short memories. Brian Clough's Miracle Men, what they achieved was unlike no other story. You know. Came up from the second division, as you say, won the Premier League. It would have been the first division at the first time of asking. Yeah. That's like Sunderland winning it this year, and then the season after back to back European Cup. So that's part of who we are, and it's funny, Sam. It's a great source of pride, but I never saw any of that, and only until recently, I've just had it's the club that once was, and it's so different to what I've seen before my eyes. I remember watching us lose against Rochdale away. I remember us losing a 2 or 3 goal lead after the first leg League One playoff semi-final against Yeovil and bottling it at home. Twice against Sheffield Wednesday, against Sheffield United, in the Championship. My Forest support in life has been misery. And up until about 4 years ago, when Steve Cooper took us from the bottom of the Championship to winning at Wembley in the playoff final, my best memory was a pitch invasion after on the last day of the League One season we got promoted. And of course that was magical. But we're surrounded here at talkSPORT by United fans, Arsenal fans, well, not City fans because there aren't any, but, you know, we're surrounded by people that have been born
tops at the top.
Born with a silver spoon in the mouth as football fans. And Forest fans and Villa fans have been through it, been through the mire. And so to be here tonight is it's a special occasion, Sam. It's unbelievable.
Well said, mate. In terms of this season, it's crazy to think that this season started with Nuno as manager. Even Ange being in charge feels like that happened 3 or 4 years ago. But Vitor Pereira came in difficult circumstances. Fast forward a couple of months, you're pretty much safe, I think it's fair to say. Yes, and obviously in a really good place going into the semi-final. Just talk to us about what he's done, what he's changed, and why he's done such a good job.
I think what he's managed to do, it's mental, it's psychological. It's not necessarily the tactics and the possession and the XG. Because you've got a group of players, lots of whom, like Morgan Gibbs-White, Murillo, Anderson, who would have known if Forest get relegated, we're going to get great moves. And it's going to be so much easier for us because the club aren't going to have to hold out for such a hard bargain because they're in the Championship. But rather than, like you've seen at the Chelsea players, sort of lie on their back and have their bellies tickled by Brighton, by Forest's second string team. They fought for the badge. They fought for the team. And for me, Vitor Pereira, his main job has been galvanising a group of players who, as we all know, are too good to go down. It's true. It's facts. They're unbelievable players there. And so the job he's done is, it's about togetherness. It's about community. It's about this is who we are, that sort of stuff. And you can't quantify it. You can't measure it. But it's important sort of man management stuff. And I think that, rightly, he should be, I think he was manager of the month last month.
Yeah, he was.
And if he continues in this vein, he should be manager of the month for this month.
In terms of the team tonight, I guess the big headlines is that Jay Cunha goes at right back. There's no Olaina. Morgan Gibbs-White sadly doesn't start. He makes the bench. A chance of McAtee, and he goes for Igor Jesus and Chris Wood in the same team starting tonight. Yeah,
Morgan Gibbs-White, I think the fact that he's even on the bench shows who he is. He's been carrying this club on his back. And I've met him, I've spoken to him, I've interviewed him. He cares a lot about this football club. It's given him an incredible opportunity and he's repaying it. He's the club's highest ever paid player in history. We all know what happened at the start of the season involving Spurs. And he told talkSPORT exclusively how important that decision was for him and his family. And I just sort of think that the fact that he's got a dreadful, horrific face wound, 15 or so stitches, right down to the third layer that, in his head. The fact that he's willing to come out and he'll play a part tonight at some point.
He would have wanted to start.
Yeah.
And I think he's been taken away. The choice has been taken away from him.
Yes.
Now, maybe 15 years ago, physios don't get involved, doctor. Now they've got so much power. I say it's not safe. Maybe for him to even have any part of the game because Sangare's on the bench, isn't he? And Murillo's on the bench. Are they fit?
Well, yeah, this is the problem.
They wouldn't be starting if they were fit enough.
But what I would say, Gabs, to try and maybe flip it in a positive way for Forest is, look at what we did against Chelsea. 8 changes, loads of great players on the bench. They came on as finishers. It happened against Midland as well earlier in this tournament. And so I think if you've got Sangare, Murillo and Gibbs-White, who let's say have got 30 minutes in their legs, that's what an amazing few players to fall back on.
Could be extra time as well, you never know.
Well, exactly, yeah. It's going to be a tense one, Gabs, and I won't be surprised if it went all the way to penalties.
Spot on, mate, yes. And
you're doing 10 to 1 tomorrow, right? Not breakfast, yeah?
Yeah, but depends on the result.
Oh, is that...
I'm taking tomorrow off unless we win. I'm being serious. Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
So if Villa lose, you're not coming
I'm going home tonight, mate.
Why?
Because I just want to get home to the family, mate.
I want to get home.
Console the kids.
Yeah. Mourn with them.
Yeah. I want to be home and go in hibernation.
Okay, so it's Crookie and Sam Matface going solo.
They'll be fine on their own.
Yeah,
they're great.
Do you know what? I reckon
they need me anyway.
I reckon they quite enjoy being.
Yeah, it's better without me. Anyway. It's better without me. Yeah, they'll be fine.
Well, you know what will happen? It'll be there's no Gabby Vaughan on the hall today, but Max Scott's here in the studio.
Yeah, Max, you can have it, mate. You can have the gig.
Yeah.
I don't want it anyway.
It could be a Nottingham Forest hour. Max, just broadly on the relegation battle. Do you think you're sitting pretty comfortably right now? 42 points. I mean, 6 ahead of West Ham, 5 ahead of Spurs.
Yeah, and a 17 goal difference as well.
Yeah.
So look, if West Ham beat Arsenal, then we're back in it again.
Yeah.
So I'm desperate for Arsenal to win that game because then even if we lost on Sunday against Newcastle, there'd need to be a ridiculous goal swing unlike anything we've ever seen in Premier League history. So I think for now, we can go into this game with that monkey ever so slightly off our back because to be fair to Spurs and West Ham, after we beat Sunderland, they went and won as well. We thought that 5-0 win, we were clear.
That Sunderland result was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing. And again, it's indicative of what Vitor Pereira has done. He's created an environment where these players who were probably beginning to sort of think, I'll wipe my hands at this and I'll get a move, or we're going to be in the Championship next season, whatever.
Do you know what's crazy, though, when you look at the Europa League now? Because the Champions League teams don't drop into it. I believe that next season, same. Whatever Premier League club is in the Europa League, they will be favourites.
You think so?
I think even the likes of Brighton, Bournemouth, Brentford next season, they could go on to be European Cup winners. That's what the Europa League's like now. You look at the level, and obviously you're not going to hold that against a Forest or Villa if they win it, but Spurs last season and Manchester United in the final.
There is also, because I really like Brighton and Bournemouth and I love what those those teams are doing. One of the reasons I would quite like Aston Villa to win the Europa League is because if you win the Europa League,
6th place go
and come 5th, which I think you might do. 6th place gets Champions League football, and that right now is Bournemouth.
I know.
Which would be absolutely remarkable. So I mean,
Iriola were doing U-turn, wasn't he? Sorry guys, my agent.
He can't walk away having led Bournemouth.
I know.
Incredible.
he must know that he's got a big job lined up somewhere. Like his agent will say,
go back home maybe.
Well, yeah, you've got. But Edin Terzic supposedly is in line for the Bilbao job. you'd think that'd be played 450 odd games for him as a player. He's a legend there.
I'm not sure how much truth there is in it, but there was reports linking him today with Crystal Palace, and I thought, with all due respect to Crystal Palace, you don't leave Bournemouth in the position they're in to go, because Palace is sideways or maybe a little bit.
Well, our
down,
man in the know, Alex Crook, he sort of rubbished that today and said,
that felt rubbish, didn't it? Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, impossible.
Gabs, on that relegation battle, did you always look at the Forest team on paper and think, with your Andersons, your Gibbs-White, I always felt there was too much quality in that Forest team to go down.
I looked at their fixtures and the quality of players that they've got. Listen, we laughed about it a few weeks ago, and I said, like, I hope they lose a couple of games in the Premier League, so they have to rest players tonight. For both legs. I was hoping, we've got to play the kids.
Can't rest players in the European semi-final.
It turns out you did that, Gabs, and stunk the place out on Saturday against Spurs. That was a disgraceful.
I was thinking if, like, they were still fighting for their lives at the bottom, not like they are now, they might have to rotate a few players, but. Listen, Nottingham Forest have got a very good side. It wouldn't surprise me if they did win the Europa League, or if they didn't next season, with the right players that they get out, and maybe the right players they get in, they'll be back in and amongst the top 7 next season as well. Very good squad of players.
How do you see it, Spurs or West Ham?
West Ham, 100%, yeah.
100%?
Yeah, I think Arsenal beat them on the weekend. Tight game. And I think Spurs beat Leeds, and I think it's all done then.
Yeah. I mean, this is the weekend, isn't it, where... with Spurs having won back-to-back games, you feel like they're going to beat a Leeds team who are safe, aren't they?
They play after as well.
Yeah, they got that advantage. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think Arsenal are going to beat West Ham. I don't think it's a given that Spurs are going to beat Leeds. Spurs have still got a soft underbelly, and I know they're improving under De Zerbi, and fair play to him. I like the way he's speaking. I like the confidence and the authority that he's speaking to try to drag the club out of the mire that they're in. But Leeds are going to go there. The fans are going to expect something. And Leeds have been against the so-called Big Six have been really difficult this season. Yeah. And so I think there's a world in which West Ham still have a chance because they both lose.
Yeah, I also like the fact that Zerbi came in and was like, stop crying, stop moaning.
Exactly.
We're here now. This is the situation. Get on with it. And to be fair, I know you rested players, Gals, but they played really well, didn't they?
They played really well, but it was quite funny because my 15-year-old daughter was in Holton with her friend and her friend's dad. And she phoned me after the game and says, Dad, why were the players walking?
Yeah.
This is what she said to me. She was like, why did they play like that? Like, she was looking forward to it. Getting to go in the whole end, like an experience. And
is that the first time she'd been in the whole end? Or
been in the whole end, the first time.
First time?
Yeah, in the whole end. And, like, you've got to
tell her. It's not normally like that, I promise you. It's so much better than that.
She's actually been to other games and she's enjoyed it. But the likes of the French players, like the Sanchos that are there, and Douglas Luiz, not good enough. Tammy Abraham was poor. It's like, as a player, that's your chance.
Yeah.
If you've done really well on Sunday, maybe you could have had a chance of starting tonight.
What was the biggest game? What was the biggest individual game you played in for Aston Villa? Was there one game that stands out where it was like the biggest game? Atmosphere was absolutely electric. I know you played in the final, didn't you, at Wembley, but is there one at Villa Park that stands out?
Do you know what? It was a semi-final against Blackburn Rovers. And it was a second leg, and it was a crazy score, like 6-4 in aggregate. I remember it was chaotic. The fans were so electric in that semi-final. And we obviously went to Wembley and lose, like as we do. But
it should have been sent off, though,
don't get me started.
I can still picture that, by the way. I remember being like a young kid at that time, and I was like, that's just so Man United that he wasn't sent off in that game.
I couldn't believe it. But I just remember that atmosphere of that day. It was the second leg, it was at Villa Park. The fans have got the flags waving like they will tonight. And when you go out to that atmosphere as the player, you're like, well, this is a big game.
Yeah.
Like, it's go time. Last season, PSG at home, similar sort of atmosphere. It was like, okay, the fans can't do no more, guys. Like, if you're not 110% every player for 95 minutes, then there's something wrong with you.
When you play in an atmosphere like that, I'm obviously guessing when you walk out, you feel it, you take it all in. When that whistle goes, though, are you immediately just in the game? Or can you still, are you still aware and listening to everything that's
when
going
you're walking out, it's weird. The players have it today. You have that weird adrenaline where, like, you feel a bit shaky, a bit going through your body of, like, okay, there's nowhere to hide. Do you know what I mean? There's nowhere to hide. You have to be at it. When the game starts, you're relaxed. You like play your game. Forget the atmosphere, because if you get drawn into that, you probably go and take someone out and get a red card after 2 minutes. So you got to play your game, relax, and then it's down to the fans to keep that atmosphere going.
Gabs, are you confident that this group of players, because you've seen it with Spurs when they played Forest, they lined the streets and it didn't work. Are you confident that this group of players, from what you've seen over the last 3 days, will respond to that? Because it's not a guarantee that the players respond to the fans.
They will do 100%. And, I do speak to a couple of the players, and they are really on side with the manager. They would have been frustrated at the weekend. They listen to everything he says. You know, the meetings that they have, honestly, I would have hated it as a player. Their meetings non-stop. Watch that game back, watch that game, meetings. They will know how much this means to the football club, to the manager, and to each other. And having John McGinn in the side, you know, the leader, Watkins as well. Morgan Rogers has always spoke about. He wants to go to that next step of winning trophies. I can see a top performance from Aston Villa today, but Forest are so dangerous. If I'm a Forest, I'm going after Villa early doors, try and get a goal, silence the stadium, and you can sort of kill the tie with an early goal.
Yeah. Do you think that's how they will set up, or do you think they will be tempted just to sort of sit deep and try and play with a low block and just frustrate Villa? With that
look at our last couple of Premier League games, we've scored early and we've scored in bunches.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it'll be your typical sort of gung-ho football where it's sort of really high pressing necessarily, although the press has been really organised under Vitor Pereira. What I think we're really good at, as we shown last season, it got us European football under Nuno. It's like a slingshot. We'll sit back really well, soak up pressure, and then we've got the players that can go and make magic out of nothing. And I think that Forest are brewing with confidence at the minute.
If I'm Forest today, you stop Morgan Rogers, you stop Villa. In that number 10 position, if it's Dominguez, if it's Anderson, I know Anderson megged him and they're good friends.
Twice.
And he megged him, so
Twice.
I think Morgan Rogers commented on his Instagram saying, see you next week. So that'll be funny. Maybe Morgan Rogers...
They were great megs as well, weren't they? They weren't lucky or scruffy. They looked good, didn't they?
But if you stop him, and that's something that maybe Anderson's going to have to do with the World Cup. When we're playing the big boys, the Brazils, the France, he's going to have a similar sort of job. It'd be good to see him tonight again. If he stops Rodgers, you stop Villa.
And can I just say on that, Elliot Anderson, no other midfielder in European football has won the ball back more than Elliot Anderson. And that's credit to the player that Forest have allowed him to become, because he was hardly getting any minutes at Newcastle. And I know that like Villa, like Forest, Newcastle are constrained, and so because of the ridiculous football world we live in, you have to sell homegrown talent because it's 100% profit. What a load of nonsense that is, by the way. But Newcastle's loss is our gain, because the context that Forest were in, he got minutes straight away. And it wasn't like he burst onto the scene at Forest. It took him probably about 3 months for Forest fans to realise, crikey Moses, we've got an absolute player on our hands. And he's turned out, for my money, to be one of the best players in Europe this season.
His value's going up game by game.
Yeah.
If it was, we had a little debate, didn't we, a month ago with Adam Brazil, and you said maybe it's over 100, and we were saying 70. Like, I've got to agree, Max. If I'm Nottingham Forest, and especially if you're in the Europa League, Champions League football, if it's not 100 million, don't call me.
And you got this thing called the World Cup coming up in a month's time, where it looks like he's going to be that six. You know, when we're talking about the relegation battle, the Spurs went with... they brought in, didn't they, Igor Tudor, didn't he, to come in. Obviously, that completely didn't work out. You went for Ange and Dyche, and obviously they both didn't last too long. When Vitor Pereira came in to try and keep you out of that relegation mess, looking back at it, did you think that was always the right appointment at the time? Because what he did at Wolves last season, because he came into Wolves, and let's be honest, he worked an absolute miracle at Wolves, didn't he, towards the back end of last season?
I was really disenfranchised and disillusioned with the club at that point, because although I was at that Wolves game where Forest had 36 shots and couldn't score against Wolves, and the crowd turned on Sean Dyche, it sounds like the players, some of the key senior players, turned on Sean Dyche. And so I felt like there needed to be a change, and in the immediate aftermath I was so angry. I was like, yeah, something needs to change, but it was harsh on Sean Dyche. So at that point, it wouldn't have mattered if you'd have brought Pep Guardiola in, mate. I felt so... 4 managers, I thought, of course we're going down. But Vitor Pereira, that first season at Wolves, won 6 on the bounce and gave them their best winning streak in top-flight football since the 40s, or something daft like that. And that was the only breadcrumb of hope. And to be fair to Vitor Pereira, and I know I've been raving about him already, but to achieve what he's achieved, 10 unbeaten, European semi-final, 1-0 up against a top side in Villa... Manager of the season since he's arrived.
Yeah. I'll just say something as well about football in general. I think as a player, an ex-player, I don't think when you're in that bubble, realise what football means to people. And I've noticed more when I've retired and working on talkSPORT and other channels, how much it actually means to fans. Like, there'll be fans that are really poorly watching tonight for both teams. And a win tonight could make them feel a lot more better. Do you know what I mean? There's so much going on. They've lost a family member. They're going through a stress.
It's like a distraction, isn't it?
They've lost a job. They might have split up in a relationship. They might have problems in their life. And a distraction of tonight, of a brilliant game, a brilliant result, can just lift somebody. So football means more now to me, probably, since retiring, than when you're in that little bubble.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I can speak to that. Yeah. You know, football's provided me and my family with like joy in the darkest of times. You know, we're not going to go into it, but in really dark times in our family's life, Forest has been in these recent years has been the thing that keeps us together, the thing that gives us a distraction, and it has given us plenty of joy. And that's why I love the football club, because even in 23 years outside the Premier League, it's a constant and it's a community, and it's tied up with your family relationships. Like I remember you telling me about you shared a memory with me that you had with your boy at that PSG game. Yeah, that's what you remember.
Oh yeah, I remember that the rest of my life. Yeah. When Conte scored against PSG, we had some seats and there was a balcony. And I was shaking him, my 17-year-olds, and he was shaking me. And, like, looked over, I'm thinking, this balcony is quite tight here. But that memory, he still talks about that now. Like, Dad, how good was that game? Obviously, we didn't get over the line, but they're the memories between father and sons, father and daughters, and family members. And, football just means so much to everyone.
We are 25 minutes away from kickoff, and we cannot wait for it this evening. Villa versus Nottingham Forest. Just before,
I'm just sweating. And
how are you feeling? Do you know what? Can I?
It's all that liquid. It's all that thing.
For the next 3 minutes, can I try to ask you about something else? Then, if that's okay?
Please. Let's change subjects.
We touched but briefly on Tottenham Hotspur. It's a big if Tottenham Hotspur do stay up this season, do you think Roberto De Zerbi is a really, really exciting appointment then for Spurs? Because I wasn't sure he was the right man to keep them up. I thought if they stayed up, he was the right man to take them forward.
I think if they stay up as well, they will finish in European places next season.
Big shout.
Do you know why I say that, mate? Because people will laugh, and I think Jamie O'Hara might have said the same thing earlier. When you look at the squad of players that they've got, you look at the Maddisons coming back. I know Simmons will be out for a while. If they have the right money to spend, they've got a manager there. I like him because he's tactically aware, but also he's got that fear factor. When you speak to players that played under him, he's no nonsense. I just feel we Spurs do stay up, get the right players in the summer, and they've got a decent squad of players. You're quick to forget, Forest are the same. Like, they should be nowhere near it.
You bring in Kulusevski, Maddison, Solanke, and you get all them fit. Their fully strength 11 is not a bad 11. You think that's a little bit too much for a stretch?
Of course it's not a bad 11. Of course they've got some great players that have been unfortunately really injured. But to say that Spurs are going to get European football next season, I think is so much of a stretch. It's ridiculous. And it speaks to that Big Six thing, that Big Six mentality that there are these clubs that have a divine right. Absolutely not. Roberto De Zerbi is a top manager. I love the cut of his jib. I love his, he's got cojones. But what world-class, self-respecting world-class player is going to go and want to play for Spurs next season? It's not about De Zerbi, it's about the mess at the top of the football club. And I just think that it's too much of a stretch to say that they would do that. But
I think it should be the minimum. I think as a Spurs ownership and a manager, bringing De Zerbi in, the money that these players are getting paid at Spurs, I know this season has been disappointment, a shambles. No European football next season. Don't we see what Manchester United have done?
Yeah, they're going to play 38 league games.
Exactly. I just look at Spurs next season. The bare minimum for me for that football club, the wages they're paying, the transfers that they're paying.
The Premier League is so competitive.
I know. It'll be tough. Of course it will be. Look at Brighton aren't going to go anywhere. Bournemouth, Brentford aren't going to go anywhere. But I just think it should be the bare minimum of a top 7 finish.
I tell you what, they'll have a much better chance of finishing in the top 7 if they get rid of Christian Romero and Mickey van der Ven.
Oh. Yeah. Certainly Romero, I think.
I'll have Van der Ven if they're selling.
You'll have Van der Ven? Consman Van der Ven?
Yeah, all over it.
Next season, no? Yeah. Boys, we're 22 minutes away from a European semi-final.
Nice distraction.
I thought I'd throw that in there for you, by the way.
Come too quick.
Good to see Stilian Petrov there.
Always.
On the sidelines.
Love Stan, looking smart.
A good man, right?
Yeah, hair might be going a bit thin, but what happens to us all?
He's going for the Gabby.
If he gets through to it final, he can go to Istanbul to one of
Kill
the
two birds with one stone, right?
Yeah. One, get it done.
Yeah, I like that. Andy Reid also there?
Club legend, absolute magic in that left foot.
Yeah. Who invited Cameron Connie? I mean,
you can't say that, Sam.
You know what else I'll say though? Morgan Rogers. If he has a good first 5-10 minutes, he'll have the game of his life.
He's gone quiet, Gab.
But he's that sort of player.
Yeah.
Every Villa fan says it. Look at Morgan Rogers, his first 10 minutes. If he loses the ball, 3-4 times, he's not going to have a great game. If he starts off and does something magical with his first take on, he will have a very good game. It's weird confidence in the player.
I couldn't believe that Emery played him on Sunday. I was like, he's the one player that I thought needed a rest more than anyone.
You know what's crazy?
Never seems to not play.
I was talking about this the other day about the red zone and players might get injured and they've got all this medical science. They must look at Morgan Rogers at their training ground and be like, he's nowhere near the red zone. He's got no chance of getting injured. He doesn't look like he's going to have a hamstring or calf because he plays every minute. There was no reason for your star player to play on Sunday.
Yeah, literally.
But he must be so touch wood not be able to get injured.
I was almost like,
like a freak of nature.
When I saw him run on Sunday, I was like, please be careful, Morgan. Please be careful.
I think they're all careful,
Yeah,
weren't they?
true, yeah. That's why they didn't sprint, did they, at any point on Sunday? We are exactly 20 minutes away then from 8 o'clock. It is Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest in the Europa League semi-final. The epic boost this evening from William Hill in the Villa-Nottingham Forest game. Villa to score in the first half. It was 4-6. You can now get that at evens. There's also an epic boost in the Crystal Palace Shakhtar Donetsk game. That's the Conference League semi-final. Palace are 3-1 up from the first leg. Palace to lead at half-time was evens, now 6-4. With William Hill, you can get ACCA boost on all of your accumulators with 4 or more picks. It's up to a 100% boost for ACCAs of 15 legs, 18 plus. Gambleaware.org. 20 minutes time until Villa Forest in the Europa League.
Up the tricky cheese.
To join Arsenal was the biggest achievement in my career, but the way the things end up was a little bit not nasty. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. They are happy. They know, you know what, life goes on. If you ask me if I regret, I don't regret. But I'm happy also giving them something back, because at the end of the day, if I can't represent and defend my parents, I don't know who will do it for me. So it's kind of doing my job.
You're spot on, Emmanuel. I don't blame you at all. I would have done the same, mate.
Thank you.
Looking at the title race, Manchester City messing up against Everton. How do you think it's going to go? Who do you think will win it in the end?
Who do I think will win it? If you ask me today, I will still tell you that I think Man City will win it, but I would like Arsenal to win it, because it has been over a decade. They have been fighting for that even when I was there. We were fighting for it. Obviously, in April, then sometime in March and April, it's all over, and we drop points at Wigan, at Bolton, wherever you can call it. Then we saw the league sliding out of our hand. But this year, they're doing quite well, and the good thing is that defensively, they are very good. But now they have to win the last 3 games to win the league. And obviously, Man City again dropping points at Everton. They will come back stronger. They will manage with their manager, with the players, with the experienced team they had. They will do everything possible to win the last 3 games and wait for Arsenal to drop points so they can be champion. But trust me, it's not going to be an easy task for both of them. Let's see who win. But I wish, for the first time, I wish Arsenal wins it, because they have been working towards this for so long time.
A very good evening. You are listening and watching talkSPORT Goals. talkSPORT Goals is brought to you by William Hill's final one standing. It is 18 plus at gambleaware.org. It's Sam Ellard, Gabby Bonlahon, Max Scott. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and also on your smart TVs. We're taking you through a massive night of European football. Of course, we'll keep one close eye on Crystal Palace. They're bidding to get through to another final. Could be 3 trophies, couldn't it? In the space of 14, 15 months. Roderick Glasner and Crystal Palace. They're 3-1 up against Shakhtar Donetsk in their Conference League semi-final. But of course, the boys will have both their eyes on Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are 1-0 up from the first leg, which they won last weekend. The game starts in, pretty much bang on 15 minutes. Gabs and Max, I know you're both very, very nervous at the moment, and it's probably hard to talk about the game when you want it to start. But I guess at least over the last 48 hours, Gabby, every time I open up my Twitter, I see some clip of you and Arsenal fans
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is, to be honest.
You tell me, what's been... You've had an event 48 hours, haven't you?
No, I think what I says was Jimmy Ford Hasselbank said the same. Wayne Rooney said the same. I felt the celebrations were a bit over the top. I know Max disagrees. Listen, it's okay to celebrate in a semi-final. I totally get it. PSG did last night, but I just thought like the fireworks, it was like a concert afterwards. I think they were playing music till midnight. It was that much of a celebration. And if you don't go and win it, Arsenal, then people use those clips against
But Gabs,
you,
I
maybe.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But like, let's say Aston Villa gets the Europa League final.
I've got fireworks in my back.
Don't win it. I was going to say, isn't part of being a football fan though enjoying that journey, enjoying the ride? It's not like you can't not enjoy any of it until that exact moment that you win it. You know, the away days.
I do get it, of course. I totally do get it to a certain degree, but I just felt maybe they went a bit too far. That's all.
Max,
I think that's celebration police. Like they've been recruiting, haven't they? Gabs
I've always wanted to
Gabs
join the
as chief
police.
superintendent.
I love the police. Do a great job.
keep the street safe.
Try.
I just think football's about joy and it's about moments. If I was being really picky, maybe the players' celebration, you could say, was a bit much because they've got another final, but you can't criticise the fans. You can't criticise the fireworks. This is what football's about. That's what it means. And so I just think, give it a rest.
Yeah.
Give it a rest.
We're bitter old men, aren't we? We're this.
Well, you are. I'm not.
Max is not.
No, not me. I'm
thought
on about me and the other ex-players that have said it. Listen, I get it. I get it. But I just felt that, like you said there, the managers jumping up and down. I'm thinking, if you lose the final, no one remembers the finalists. They really don't.
And then the next best
Who
one
wins it?
I've seen so far is the combined Arsenal PSG 11. You've gone.
There's a problem with that.
Fair enough. All PSG players
Okay, yeah.
and just David Raya.
I've got reasons for it. Okay, right back Hakimi, easy. Left back Nuno Mendes, best left back I've seen in years.
Yeah,
Easy.
he's top.
Two centre halves, Pacho, Marquinhos. I think they're fantastic.
You think both better than Saliba and Gabriel?
Yes, love watching them last season. Even last night, they were tremendous. They had Harry Kane in their pocket to the last kick of the game when he scored. Elise and Diaz had no joy. And I just think they've got experience of winning big trophies. Won the Champions League last season. Marquinhos, international for Brazil. The multiple amount of trophies he's won for PSG. And I rate them highly as a pairing. And then I go into the midfield.
This is where it's unforgivable.
I think, listen, Declan Rice was close, but I just look at, I think as Englishmen, we overhype our players. I like Declan Rice, but when you're talking Neves, Ruiz, and Vitinha, I think they're a different level, mate. I really do. And last night, they showed they can do the hard yards as well. They're flair players, they get on the ball, they can score goals, but they'll do the hard yards. Then the front three, I don't think that's even a conversation. Kvaratskhelia is the best player in the world. Doué, I love watching him. Even last night, he was outstanding. And then obviously Dembele. Easy.
I think front three is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I think the midfield one's really interesting. I think, I rate Declan Rice so highly. He's a top player. But one thing I do think sometimes, and I do watch the PSG boys in midfield, and even the Bayern boys in midfield, and whether it's your Pedris at Barca, whoever it might be, how good they are, how comfortable they are with the ball at feet in tight spaces. Yeah. Get the ball, one touch, pass, move, glide in and out. And Declan Rice has got many, many strengths, hasn't he? But that is something that maybe when we call him world class, he's good at so many things. That ability in tight spaces to move the ball, to pass the ball. Is it fair to say he's maybe a level below your Vitinhas in that?
I think, if you were to isolate that one attribute, comparing it to Vitinha, obviously,
Rice has got other things,
right? But Declan Rice is still a world class midfielder. Yeah.
I guess maybe
Declan Rice is a world class midfielder, Sam, and therefore. I think it's a massive disrespect to Declan Rice. So, look, it's a game of opinions. Yeah. It's fine.
This is the fun of it,
I just think over Ruiz every single day of the week for what he gives you going forward and defensively and the leadership. Let's make no bones about it.
Talking about
Declan Rice is the unofficial captain of Arsenal Football Club, and Mikel Arteta should, I think, have the minerals and the cojones to just say, he's our leader, he's our captain.
Did Ruiz play in the final against England? In the Euros, maybe.
Yeah, well, he was. Okay. Some people think that he should have been Spain's player of the tournament.
And he was the best. He was the best player on the pitch last night.
He, by the way, because
I rate him highly.
He didn't start first leg, did he? Because his Iron had to go right back, didn't he? He came in last night.
He was the best player last night.
He was outstanding. Yeah.
Already won a major trophy of his country. Won the Champions League.
Do you think Declan Rice is world class, Gabs?
I don't think he's world class. No, I think he's a very, very good midfielder. I think when people start comparing with Steven Gerrard and Lampard, I mean, I played against these guys. I was with England with these guys. I think it's a disrespect. And I think it's recent bias. Listen, getting
What
the
does he
ball
need
back.
to do to get to be world class?
He's got to score goals. Doesn't score enough goals. Doesn't strike a ball like
Rodri
Gerrard
doesn't
or
score many
Lampard.
goals, and he's a world class midfielder, isn't he, Rodri?
Because Rodri dictates a game.
Sure.
On different levels. Listen, Declan Rice, getting the ball back, especially the first leg against Atletico Madrid. He played deeper. He'll win that ball back. He can drive with the ball. Very good midfielder, but I think we're very quick. I remember when... Do you remember when we were so hyped on Jack Wilshere? And was it Pep Guardiola that says, like, I got better midfielders in the, you know, in the academy? And it's true when you look at the level of that Barca back in the day, and you're like, we do overhype our players.
Just broaden out then, just out of curiosity, how many world class English players are there at the moment?
I say Harry Kane.
Sure.
You've got to say Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham's close, yeah. I'll say Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, and I'm a bit like, I like Saka. I think he's a very good player. He's not world class. He's not on Elise's level. He's not on Lamine Yamal's level. I don't think Saka's world class, no.
Your Saka, Foden and Palmer's,
No.
in patches, you watched him for 6 months and you think you've got world class ability.
Yes.
But to be world class, they have to be more consistent and do it
exactly.
week in, week out. Whereas Foden has 6 months where you're like, you're the best player in the world right now. And then he has 6 months where it's like, where on earth are you?
And I
He's
think-
not even playing,
This
is
is
he?
why Morgan Gibbs-White has to go to the World Cup over
I
Phil
think he will.
Foden. I think he will now. I think he's made himself, undroppable. I think he has to go over
I've
Phil
said this as
Foden
well.
and Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Morgan Gibbs-White did in 20 minutes before his head was sliced open more than Cole Palmer's done in months.
And Foden?
Got an assist, changed the game, 3-0, seeing a bit, Forest is safe. Right? That's what I'm talking about, carrying the club on his back. Morgan Gibbs-White, if we live in a meritocracy and if Thomas Tuchel wants to maintain the respect of an England cap and a World Cup call-up that it deserves, he has to be picked over Phil Foden and over
Whenever you
Cole
say world
Palmer.
class, one player comes to my mind at the moment, Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
And no one
He's
comes
not
close.
even going to be at the World Cup, is he, by the way?
Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
What he's doing is incredible. His strength. Last night, he chopped Upamecano, and I think everyone in the world went through it as well. Then gets a shot off on his left foot. He'll defend. He'll do the hard yards. He can dictate a game on his own. And I think he'll be the difference in the Champions League final. I don't think you can stop him. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, so even with Arsenal with
You
this,
can't. You won't stop him.
you think
he can do
they've got
everything.
too much quality to break Arsenal
Give
down?
him space. Try and make it 2-on-1 tight areas. He just got that skill. Look at the goal last night. Second minute, little 1-2, gone in behind, and boom. How many wingers do we see? What would Martinelli have done in that position? He would have crossed it. Would have went out for a goal kick. The right pass at the right time. He can finish both feet. Incredible player.
Yeah, he's a flashback. And the game excuse me.
You
game needs more
better
of
be
it.
careful here, mate.
Don't worry.
We need your voice at 9:45 this evening to still be fresh and ready to go.
Fine, mate, just fine. But yeah, Kvaratskhelia, we talk about the game being a bit rigid and systematic and sort of quadrants and all that sort of stuff. Kvaratskhelia is the maverick and the flair player that the modern game misses. And I tell you what, if we don't see him in the Premier League, it will be one of the greatest misses that the Premier League has
Why
ever
would you
had.
leave PSG?
Well, I think you'd leave him if all dynasties come to an end. All dynasties come to an end.
If he wins back-to-back Champions Leagues, you might think at some point moving
New
forward,
challenge.
well, I don't know. How many more do you need to win?
Exactly.
Right, guys, 7 minutes until kickoff. We'll have one more break. Then we're watching Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest.
We have to watch it.
I think so. Again, by the way,
we turn it over?
this was
Gab just wants to talk about Arsenal.
I'd rather not know what the score
Talk
is.
Sports Arsenal.
I love the idea of Forest going one up and Gabby just wants to speak about Arsenal for 45 minutes. I will one more time remind our wonderful viewers about the epic boost this evening in both of the games involving the English sides. In Villa Forest, Villa to score in the first half was 4-6, now evens. Palace Shakhtar, Palace to lead at half time was evens. It is now 6-4. It's 18 plus. Gambleaware.org. You know it's a big night when you got an Aston Villa legend sat in the studio with you, and the bright and up and coming presenter reporter Max Scott. Are you becoming the face and voice of Nottingham Forest?
He should be. He
now?
should
Is
be.
that-
Nah, mate, I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan that's lucky enough to work for talkSPORT. That's it.
That was quite nice, by the way.
Yeah.
That was no.
No, it's nice.
Mate, there's so many Forest fans that feel exactly the same way about me, mate. And it's exactly the same about the club as me. We talk about it on Instagram all the time. Forest fans are the best out there. It means so much to them.
If Forest go through to tonight, I'm supporting them in the final.
Likewise.
So would I.
Likewise.
5 minutes. One more break. Then it's Villa Forest for a place in the final of the Europa League.
because I've got nothing against Forest, and I think it would be great for that football club and their fans.
No. Whoever gets through to the final out of the Europa League, I want them to get beat in the final.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's the matter with you? You're horrible.
I just want. Why, I don't understand.
Horrible person.
So that makes you a nice person, does it? Because you want to win.
Well, it's not about being nice, but it's just like, why? I get it. If Chelsea or Arsenal, Spurs, I get all that. Rivalry. No rivalry with Nottingham Forest.
No, I don't want Palace to win it if they get to the final.
You don't want Palace to win the Conference League?
No, I mean less concerned about that. It's to play for Palace, and I'm backing them.
Yeah.
4 games on loan.
Yeah.
No, I mean, do you know what? Maybe Palace. Maybe I'd know. Do you know what? I'd catch me at the time. I'm so nonplussed by it, but I definitely don't want Villa win it. Definitely don't want Forest to win it. Definitely, 100% don't want them winning it. I don't want Spurs winning it. Don't want Arsenal winning it. Don't want West Ham. Don't want Man United winning it. Liverpool. None of them.
Oh, you know,
no, don't want anyone winning.
You're a bitter old man.
Yeah, good. I enjoy being it. I like being that man.
Greg, listen, mate. Thanks for your call. I'm going to go to Carl. He's a Fulham fan. Would you want Fulham to win it?
Nope.
Carl.
All right, Carl.
Hello, hold on. Hello.
All right, Carl.
Hi, guys. You okay?
Yeah, mate. Go on. What do you want to say?
I think it's great that an English club get into a final.
Behave yourself, man.
A very good evening and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. talkSPORT Goals is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing. It is 18 plus at gambleaware.org. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and on your smart TVs. It is just coming up to 8 o'clock on Thursday, May the 7th. Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest is about to get underway in the Europa League semi-final second leg. Nottingham Forest leading 1-0 from the first leg. Other game this evening, Sporting Braga are 2-1 up against Freiburg. We'll have one eye as well on the Crystal Palace game in the Conference League semi-final. They're in a really healthy position at home. The Shakhtar Donetsk 3-1 up from the first leg. The epic boost with William Hill in that game as Palace to lead at half-time was evens, now 6-4. In the Villa-Nottingham Forest game, Villa have got Emi Martinez in goal. A back four of Cash, Konza, Torres and Dean. Tielemans will, of course, be in midfield. And it looks like it's going to be, surprisingly, Victor Lindelof alongside Yuri Tielemans. McGinn, Rodgers, Buendia will support Ollie Watkins. For Nottingham Forest, a 4-4-1-1. Ortega is back in goal in the Europa League. There is no Olaina, so Jair Cunha will go right back. Milenkovic, Morato, Williams make up the back four. Pretty much a four across the midfield with Hutchinson, Dominguez, Anderson and McAtee going from the left-hand side. Igor Jesus and Chris Wood will lead the line for Nottingham Forest. Gabby, Holt End, Tifo, that looked like an absolute belter.
It's what we do, mate.
That is a good Tifo.
We don't mess around with the Tifo. Listen, that's what the atmosphere I was talking about. Look at every fan's waving a flag. That as a player now, the adrenaline's sinking in. Like you have to turn up. There's no slow starts. There's not saving yourself. This will be a frantic start to the game. I don't see any sitting back from either team. I see both teams going for it. Hopefully, that's what we want to see.
Yeah. Max, from a Nottingham Forest point of view, you've got that 1 goal advantage. Do you sit deep? Do you try and play on the counter-attack? Or do Forest think, hey, hang on a minute, we can get at Aston Villa, we can cause them problems, let's go 1 up early. There'll be a tense atmosphere there and try and take the game away from them.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell, but this Vitor Pereira side, when they get goals, they get them in bunches. And we scored early in a couple of recent games in the Premier League, in that 5-0 win at Sunderland, that 3-1 win at the Bridge against Chelsea. And I just think that Vitor Pereira has instilled a fearlessness in this side, which is going to bode well this evening, or certainly hoping so. I'm not here. Aston Villa are a great side, and this is going to be a difficult environment. You can see it, you can feel it through the TV screen. But what I do believe is that you can't write Forest off, because they've got momentum and they've got that sort of that unquantifiable quality that makes them, you won't want to play them. You know, as good as John McGinn is, as good as Ollie Watkins is, as good as Morgan Rodgers is, brilliant players. they won't want to face this Forest side, and they've seen them make 8 changes on Monday and win.
Well, this is what you want, though. This is why Aston Villa finished so high up in the league stage, because you want the second leg at home.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Arsenal, having the second leg at home against Atletico Madrid. This was the plan, that like you're still in contention, only 1-0. Use the home advantage to help you get through to the final. So there's no Aston Villa players can't complain.
You've mentioned it. I think the big thing here is the first 10-15 minutes. It's the first 10-15 minutes. It goes one or two ways. Villa get a goal, it changes the complexion of the game, the crowd are up, and it feels like a tidal wave that you can't avoid, potentially. However, if we can quiet them, maybe even get a goal, I think all of a sudden, like you say, there's a risk of this getting toxic because of how poor Villa have been in the last few games, particularly at the weekend against Spurs. And so all eyes on this first 15 minutes.
Do you know what as well, lads? As well, like I didn't win anything in my career, and it's a disappointment I live with when I retire. Some of these players have the same. Ollie Watkins, John McGinn, these senior players, Tyrone Mings, they'll be thinking, I need to win a trophy.
Almost like this Villa team was too good not to win anything.
Exactly. In 20 years' time, 10 years' time, we don't need to look at, we should have won. We should have won.
And it looks like as well, an early advantage for Forest turning Villa around first half, attacking the whole end.
Yeah, why not, mate?
I used to hate that.
Why not?
Yeah, it doesn't look right on TV, does it?
As a player, we used to hate it though. Whenever they won the toss.
Look at that. Forest boys have probably just done it so they can go and get the crowd up for 30 seconds. They've gone and done a huddle right in front of the Forest faithful. And there we go. Elliot Anderson giving it the big and already before the whistle, just to let Villa know we're not here to lay down and have our bellies tickled.
Pardon Max Scott is thinking, I wish I was that away. I'm having fun tonight on talkSPORT Goals, but I wish I was letting that away. How often do you reckon, like on an average, you had to think of a number, teams turning around a Villa Park? Would it be not too often, but it
not too often, but when I played, it did happen because you want to play, you want the whole end to just like draw the ball in second half.
Yeah.
To have that is definitely Forest's favour.
The one manager, Sean Dyche, always his teams, wherever they are, they always turn the opposition around in that first half when they're away from home.
Weird for a player. It's weird for a Villa player. You know, first half, when used to happen to us, going and playing in front of the whole end first.
We are underway then. Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest has started at Villa Park. Nottingham Forest 1-0 up from the first leg. Talks about the quick start, Gabby. Aston Villa worked this ball forward really, really quickly, but that is a poor ball from John McGinn, and it goes out for a goal kick. Morgan Rodgers' form, you know, because it felt like a couple of months ago, a lot of people were saying he's going to be the third midfielder in England starting 11.
Yes.
Why do you think his form has maybe dipped a little bit over the last couple of weeks?
I think that does happen with Morgan Rodgers. Listen, he's an outstanding player, and what he does, and what I love about watching him sometimes, he looks like he's having fun. No matter if he loses the ball 3 times, he's going to try the exact same trick the 4th time. He enjoys himself on that pitch. Sometimes it's like he's playing at the park with his friends.
Yeah.
I like it. He takes risks, tries things.
Nice flick there. Ollie Watkins has got the ball inside the box for Aston Villa. Really good defending there from Milenkovic, sending him out wide. And Nico Williams wins the ball back, goes under a tackle from John McGinn. And I think you call that buying a foul when you fall to the floor and basically just hover over the ball for 5 seconds before the referee gives a free kick. Is Nico Williams, maybe not according to Forest fans, but from outside Forest fans, is he maybe the most underrated player in your team by a long way? He always seems to be faultless.
He's not underrated by Forest fans, let me tell you, but I think he's one of the most underrated in the Premier League. I mean, he's a right-footed right-back playing at left-back week in, week out, and he epitomises the standards that that you need to have to play for Nottingham Forest Football Club. He's a professional. He's constantly improving. He's a bit of a goal threat as well. He's got a great right boat on him, and... And yeah, he's the sort of player you want on a night like this because, you don't want to play against him. Igor Jesus wins the ball back for Forest. High up in the Aston Villa half, but Yuri Tielemans does really, really well. Their big, strong tackle, and Aston Villa win the ball back. You know, when you see some of the big European teams, they've got those set of supporters who just look at the fans. And not the game. We just saw an 80-year-old man, maybe, the one solo Aston Villa fan in the whole end, Gabby, looking towards the Aston Villa fans, trying to get the atmosphere going.
I think Aston Villa they're trying to do different things to lift the atmosphere at Villa Park because I think maybe players and manager might have complained, and I think maybe
is it not the best atmosphere at the minute?
No, I think sometimes, mate. You know, when you're watching games, and sometimes it's how the players are playing. If you're watching a game and you're passing it back to the keeper every chance you get, a fan base aren't going to be singing and singing and singing. If you're playing attacking football, it's end to end. You'll probably get a lot more from the fans.
And are you not playing that style of football? I mean, you went on an unbelievable purple patch, but is the style of football not sort of getting...
Not at the moment, no. It's not getting the fans off their feet. Yeah, like even things like this now, pressing high, that's when you get the fans. See, winning a foul there, Ollie Watkins, that gets the fans up.
Yeah.
They start singing. If you're just, as Villa are doing and a lot of teams doing, you're playing it to the keeper. Everyone's having a touch at the back. The keeper's having all the touches. If you're a fan, you're not entertained.
Yeah.
So you can't just sing all game if you're not, having a team that's playing good football.
Aston Villa here, possibly with their first chance of the game, 3 minutes in, attacking the whole end. They've got themselves a free kick, maybe 25, 30 yards out towards the right-hand side, so possibly a good angle maybe for John McGinn to wrap his left foot around the ball and put this in that sort of dangerous area between their Nottingham Forest line and the goalkeeper, Stefan Ortega. All the Aston Villa defenders have gone up for this one, but possibly here, Gabs, a big chance for Villa?
Yeah, John McGinn, the Aston Villa are very good at set pieces. It's a great ball in.
Chance! Oh, Gabs!
Oh! What a chance for Konsa. What a ball.
Look at his
He
reaction.
whips in a really, really good ball. I thought he maybe slightly overhit it.
Let's have a look at this again.
Makes a really good run.
Onside.
Behind Cunha.
Oh, Cunha gets away one there because he lets it go. It worked for him. But if Konsa's a bit more aggressive, he scores there.
Yeah,
That's a massive chance.
Konsa should get. If Konsa gets anything on it, he's
It's
2
a
yards
goal.
out. We should
It's
score.
a goal.
Yeah.
Massive chance. Aston Villa are very good at set pieces, by the way.
But you talk about there as well, like getting the fans up. That's a good chance in the 3rd minute. And Forest have got a real job in this first 10, 15, 20 minutes to just try to quell what's going to be an inevitably a period of pressure, because Unai Emery won't have been happy over this last 3 games, won't have been happy about Sunday, and they're looking lively, Villa.
I like the way Lindelof just won the header there. Did you see Lindelof?
Yeah.
He just won the header there. That's going to be his job. There's a reason why he's starting Lindelof instead of Bogard or Douglas Luiz. They're not physical enough, set pieces as well. And I'm sure Lindelof will be the sitter and Tielemans playing a bit more forward. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's Victor Lindelof there. As you can see, they're taking the ball off the centre back, playing in that midfield too, alongside Yuri Tielemans. Is there a worry tonight about Jay Cunha at right back, or do you think he'll do a good enough job for you boys there?
He's been brilliant under Vitor Pereira. He came really highly rated as a defender at Botafogo, did great in the Club World Cup. However, he isn't a right back. Mate, he's my build. He's about 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah.
And so there's obviously a statement of intent here from Vitor Pereira.
Sorry, I've just seen Morgan Gibbs-White's face. He's got 2 black eyes and the cut on his nose. It just showed it then. He's got 2 black eyes, mate. And the cut on his nose. Wow. There's no mask on. Obviously, that will come on maybe if he comes on. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of players, players not as strong would be
I'd
maybe at
fancy it
home
tonight,
now
yeah.
with some ice on their face.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fair play to him for even being on the bench. Looks like a sore one.
I reckon you're right. He's the sort of lad that's knocking on the gaffer's door saying, play me. I don't care. I've got 2 black eyes, 4 black eyes. I want to play.
Or at least, if you're not starting me, I'm involved.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Great tackle, crunching tackle from Matty Cash.
But Gabs, you can immediately see in the first 5 minutes, it is a Villa team that are being aggressive and trying to get in the face of Nottingham Forest.
100%. All you want as a fan is your team try their best. You know, they fight, they're aggressive.
Luca Digne switched off there. That's not a foul, Amari. That's a throw. Take that. But Luca Digne there is completely switched off.
Yes.
Completely switched off. And from what I've seen from Villa in that first leg and then against Spurs at the weekend, there's maybe just a lack of concentration at times, and that was a perfect example of it. There's no way he should be letting Amari Hutchinson get in front of him there, and now Forest alleviating a little.
And he
bit
needs
of
a good
pressure.
game after the handball. I mean, ridiculous handball in the first leg. Digne will know that he's quite lucky to be starting. I'm surprised Martin isn't starting a lot quicker as well to cope with Hutchinson on that right hand side.
That's what he's got. He's got bags of pace.
Max, do you like the Nottingham Forest in the last couple of weeks going with both Igor Jesus and Chris Wood up front as a 2 together?
Yeah, it's been brilliant, and we stumbled across it. We were 1-0 down at half-time against Burnley. It looked like relegation was calling our name, and so he hooked off Dylan Backward, brought on Chris Wood, who hadn't started because, of course, he was coming back from an injury, or maybe it was the other way around, brought on Jesus. Anyway, they work great together, and Jesus he's needed that because he's great at holding the ball up. He's really skillful and a great finisher, but he needs a little bit more help, I think, in the Premier League compared to in Brazil. And since then, 4 goals in that second half, a hat-trick from Morgan Gibbs-White, and the goals have been flowing. I think it's 14 goals in 4 Premier League games. Incredible numbers. I
think since Vitor Pereira's come in at Forest, no team in the Premier League has scored more goals than Nottingham Forest, which is pretty remarkable, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Even though it's a team that's fighting relegation, right?
Yeah.
I know Aston Villa are so good at it from playing from the back like they do, but on a night like this, I can't handle these nerves. When Martinez has got it and he looks like he's going to give it someone, and if someone presses and they win it, it's a goal.
Yeah. But
that's the way they play.
That's Villa and Unai Emery,
I know,
right?
and
He's never going to change that, is he?
And we've seen so many teams this season that have done it and give away goals. It happens quite a lot.
A nervy start for Villa and Forest, but a great start, the perfect start for Crystal Palace, who have pretty much got now, 1.5 feet in the Europa Conference League finals. 3-1 up from the first leg. They are now 1 up on the night. Yeremy Pino has just scored for Crystal Palace. They're 4-1 up on aggregate against Shakhtar Donetsk. Palace 4-1 up on aggregate, and my goodness me, what a year Oliver Glaston's had there, winning the FA Cup, winning the Community Shield, and now they're possibly one game away from winning another trophy, of course, being in the Europa League next season as well. So Crystal Palace 1, Shakhtar Donetsk 0, 4-1 up on aggregate.
That one's quite funny because about 2 months ago, all the Palace fans wanted Oliver Glasner to go. Yeah. And I know that he didn't sort of shower himself in glory, and I know that he basically said he wants to leave the club at the end of the season, but it just goes to show if you stick with your man, and they're going to get what they wanted. That admin error last season.
Maybe possibly Palace and Forest might both benefit from all of it. You win your Europa League, they win their Conference League. You both end with silverware.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Maybe they can see the funny side of it then, Crystal Palace fans.
Another example of Elliot Anderson winning the ball back when he had absolutely no right there.
What pass that is, Max?
Side. Unbelievable.
McAtee to Hutchinson, right hand side, cuts in left foot, shoots, just goes wide.
Digne's got to wake up. He really has. I'm surprised he's starting Digne. I really am. With Hutchinson's pace and what happened last week, but you've got to give McAtee.
That's why we
credit.
signed him.
That's
why we signed him. He's been come into the club in a really chaotic season, and he's obviously in the shadow of Morgan Gibbs-White and Elliot Anderson, been given very few chances. That is why we signed him from Manchester City for big bucks, and I believe next season is going to be a breakthrough season for him. That sort of vision is quite rare in the Premier League, and it's those sorts of passes when Villa are going to be piling on the pressure that can just break open a game. And we know Amari Hutchinson can cut in and score goals, and here's another chance for Forest.
Oh, McAtee with a really good day.
See what Forest
in the box. Yeah, but Pau Torres, they Gabs reads that really well.
Yeah, he does. But you see what Forest are doing well, and they've got to continue to do it, is pressing Villa high. Villa want to play from the back. They haven't got the physical presence in Ollie Watkins.
Tillemans coming forward. What a great run, though.
Yeah, Yuri Tillemans doing really, really well. He beat a couple of men, then tried to play a through ball to Morgan Rogers. I think Rogers tried to make a run, almost going across the defender, and Yuri Tillemans' pass was poorly. This game's a lot more open than I thought, Max.
Yes, it is.
Lots of space in midfield for both teams.
I was just about to say, Gabs, how are you feeling? Because it's sort of end-to-end in a way, and the stakes are so high. I'm so nervous.
Yeah, I just think, like I said earlier, if Forest, if they've got sense, just press Villa high, because they're dying to play out from the back. They've got no one really that you can play the ball long to who's going to hold it up. We saw last week, whenever Martinez tried to play into Ollie Watkins, it was comfortable for the two centre-halves of Forest. So I'll press high and continue to do it.
But also, I think what we've just seen there, another great ball from Elliot Anderson. Villa are pressing. They've got intent, and you're going to like that as a Villa fan. But one pass from Elliot Anderson over the top, and it just alleviates that little bit of pressure, and gives Forest a little bit of a leg in the game. But Aston Villa have got the ball back there on the edge of the box, Sam.
Yeah, Emi Buendia there's got space, plays the ball to Ollie Watkins, who makes a run down the left-hand side outside the box. He manages to get past Milenkovic. He comes into the box and wins the corner. In the other game, by the way, Braga down to 10 men. Mario Dorgeles, who scored Braga's last-minute winner in the first leg in Portugal, shown a straight red card for a professional foul on Jan-Niklas Beste in just the 7th minute. Freiburg have started brightly at the Europa Park Stadium. Can they make their numerical advantage count? By the way, that Yeremy Pino goal, offside. VAR has ruled it out, so it's 0-0 on the night at Selhurst Park. Palace 3-1 up on aggregate, not 4-1. There was a Mateta flick, offside. Cash corner. Oh, what a save by the goalkeeper. Cash corner. Pau Torres helps it on the near post, and it's a big, strong right-hand nut from Ortega, Max, tipping over the bar.
Yeah. I mean, what a keeper, by the way, to have as your second goalkeeper. In the Europa League, he's got great experience. He's great with the ball at his feet, better than Matt Sells in that regard, and it's a great save. But again, what did we talk about? First 10, 15, 20 minutes, can Forest keep Villa out?
Set pieces. So
are you good at set pieces this season?
Villa have been decent, especially like the short corners that they've been doing and creating chances from that.
That's not.
He's given a corner.
Another corner is given. But set pieces are so big in the game. We've seen in how many times this season have look at Manchester United, Casemiro scoring set pieces. They're so important. If you get 1-0 up Villa early on from a set piece.
John McGinn, corner, 12 minutes, goalless.
Keepers.
And the keeper comes It falls to Buendia, header into the box to Watkins. This shot cleared away by Chris Wood. Corner came in.
89th minute already.
There was a couple of clearances, a couple of shots, a couple of clearances. Aston Villa, though, started really brightly here. Yuri Tielemans now has the ball. Forest have got 11 men pretty much on the edge of their box.
It does feel like the last minute.
Yeah, it feels like Villa have got 2.5 minutes to try and score. John McGinn goes down the right-hand side. Crosses! Really good header from Morato. That was a big, strong Max.
I think that was Chris Wood, actually.
Was that Chris Wood? Yeah,
that's what you do, Captain Chris Wood.
Oh, you're forcing it. You're forcing it there.
John McGinn, by the way, is such a good player. Such a good player. When Forest were in the just before, well, basically you signed him instead of us. We were really interested in him, and I think he's another player. He does get a lot of praise, but I think he's underrated. Why? Because he's British. Because he's Scottish. Yes, he doesn't wear, I don't know, Gucci whatever.
He hasn't got a fresh skin fade, has he?
No, I like about him as well. He'll play anywhere.
Yeah,
he can play anywhere, can't he? Yeah.
He's not going to moan at the gaffer. He doesn't want to be playing on the right side of midfield or the left side. He's a centre midfielder. He'd love to play there, but he just decides to play other people there because he knows as well he hasn't got the wingers. Villa haven't got a Rashford, haven't got a Diaby, haven't got those players. Sancho, Buendia, not good enough.
14 gone at Villa Park is still goalless. Both sides have had a big chance each. John McGinn whipping in a really good, dangerous free kick, which Ezri Konsa nearly got on the end of and nearly put in the back of the net in front of the Holtway. And Hutchinson for Forest a few minutes after that, getting the ball on the right-hand side, cutting in on his left foot, bending a really good effort just wide of Emi Martinez, his far right-hand post. No goals yet. Gabs, what have you made of Villa's opening 15 minutes?
I think it's been a good start. I think Forest obviously pressing Aston Villa high, but Aston Villa, they've got to be patient as well. Listen, everyone wants an early goal, but don't lose this game in the first 20-25 minutes. I think Ezri Konsa said it recently in the last 2 days. We've got 90 minutes plus stoppage time. There's no reason to go all the way forward and then you might concede an early goal. There's loads of time in this game. What I want to see, though, is like in recent games, I've seen it in European games, the refs have been just allowing the game to play on.
Yeah.
Little fouls where like, a lot of players are diving, the refs aren't giving it. And it looks like the referee today is going to be similar.
Yeah, we just saw that crunching tackle from Roger on
a little bit of needle there. Elliot Anderson.
He wasn't happy, was he? Yeah.
Elliot Anderson responded.
Space for Buendia, Gabs. Buendia, 25 yards out. Hit it. He does shoot. It's a poor effort. And it's an easy save for Ortega down to his right-hand side.
That's not his strength, Buendia, there. You know, he's one of them frustrating players. When he's at it, he's a genius. But you see him one every 7 or 8 games. That's the problem with Buendia. No consistency.
Max, from a Forest point of view, you mentioned there McAtee. I said to you before we came on air, in the brief times I've seen him this season, that Michelin game away from home in particular in the Europa League, he looks technically a seriously top player.
He is, mate. He is. And you know, I think that when we first signed him, we probably saw him as a replacement is Chris Wood.
Long ball forward to Chris Wood. Don't know if he's offside.
Great defending to Pau Torres.
Yeah, offside flag stays down and Pau Torres does well.
Great defending there.
To win the ball back off him.
We're having a little VAR check there on that, Gabs.
I love that from no chance. I love that from McGinn. That's what he offers you. Strength.
There's not a footballer in the world that uses his body better than John McGinn, is there?
But that's why like he's so loved as a player by any manager. He's on the right side of midfield. He doesn't want to play there. He wants to be a centre midfielder. But there, counter-attack, and he can knock it. Look here.
Yeah.
He maybe hasn't got it to knock it the length of the pitch, but he can have that burst of pace.
He's probably quicker than people maybe think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when he runs, he looks like he's ducking under a door.
Yes.
He's got a really interesting sort of gait, but he's so different. He's like a ball of granite. So difficult to play against. And here Unai Emery's having an absolute Barney with the referee.
Ooh.
Yellow card for the
What's
assistant.
happening here, Gabs?
I think that you look
What's
at
he not happy at?
the benches there. One of the assistants of Unai Emery there is maybe shouting. Was he shouting at maybe a yellow card? But he's got to calm the bench down. I think Onana's there. I'm surprised Onana's not got injured sitting on the bench there in his own clothes, to be honest.
He's got a nice jacket on, hasn't he, Gabs?
I know, but he's a big
Only
miss
he
today.
could pull that off, couldn't he?
Yes.
A jacket like that.
Aston Villa have got to be calm, though, Sam.
Yeah.
And Max, they have to be. The manager has to be. I know people love the frantic Unai Emery on the sideline, but that can rub off on the players sometimes.
Yeah, it spills
be
out.
relaxed, you know. You've got so much of this game to play.
Yeah, we've been criticising Arsenal for that, haven't we? You know, for the sort of behaviour of Arteta and the nerves of the fans spilling over. And you don't want that as Villa players because it definitely transmits when you're in that sort of heightened state. But again, Forest looking for an outlet, looking for a ball, not always there. You can't keep playing like that, though, Gabs, because you're just inviting the pressure.
Yeah.
You've got to have a little bit more sort
Well,
of...
it's even now where Villa have got the ball. Forest, they should press high because I know that might play into Villa's hands if they find that ball into McGinn or Rodgers, but the rewards if you win that ball, you look at that left-hand side of Villa.
That's almost what Villa want, though, isn't it, right?
Yeah,
they want that press, and then they back themselves to play that pass through the midfield.
Or if they lose it, you look at the left-hand side, Torres and Digne lacking pace compared to the right-hand side. And you've got Hutchinson and maybe Igor Jesus on that side as well. That's where Nottingham Forest need to look to win that ball back.
I told you Sporting Braga, 2-0 from the first leg. We're down to 10 men. They're now losing on the night by a goal to nil. So Freiburg
they've got through well there. That's the press. Oh, that's a yellow card. 100% yellow card. 100%. That's the press we're talking about. When it doesn't come off, Villa get through like that. Some good work between Cash and McGinn, straight into Rodgers. Rodgers wants it here. Nice flick from John McGinn. I think it's into Matty Cash. That's where Forest don't want Rodgers picking up the ball. That's where he's dangerous. And now who is that, Morata?
Yeah, Morata.
Now how long has he got?
He's
a
got
lot of time on the booking. Yep.
I think he got an early yellow card. Yeah, it was against Chelsea actually. And Forest fans will tell you if there's any sort of liability in that back line, it's Morata. And I give him his credit where it's due. He was brilliant against Chelsea. He got his yellow card, but he was solid. He was disciplined. Ball coming in here, Sam.
Yeah, Yuri Tielemans tries to play the ball out there. They're trying to be a little bit too clever there. Lots of the plays on the left-hand side of the box. Matty Cash makes a run round the right-hand side. Yuri Tielemans tries to find him for Matty Cash to then try and play it back into the goal. Just slightly over here. Matty Cash couldn't get on the end of it. Goes out for a goal kick. 18 gone. Still Villa 0, Forest 0. And it's Nottingham Forest leading 1-0 in aggregate from the first leg.
They're having a little zoom in on more. Oh, wow.
That is...
See, look at the black eyes. Two black eyes. See.
And the swelling. Swelling.
But even just the kind of scar going down the kind of lower part of his head.
Well, I know as next player,
nasty.
and I can tell his character, he will be devastated he's not on the pitch. He would have been saying to the physios and the doctors, I'm fine. Yeah, I've got two black eyes. I'm fine. Let me play. Put whatever protection you need to put on it. But in this day and age, the medical staff have the last say.
Yeah, I mean, that looks nasty. He's possibly done well to be on the bench. Long ball forward to Watkins, who plays his Rodgers back to Watkins. Buendia gets it. Is that a free kick? Yeah, free kick to Aston Villa.
Is that Morata again?
Just outside the box. No. It was Milenkovic this time. And this looks like it's possibly Luca Dean territory, Gabby, with that left foot.
Definitely. And there's an earlier tackle that was on John McGinn as well. You should look back on. That was not a nice, tasty tackle from Nottingham Forest. They've got to be careful, Forest, because you don't want these yellow cards to build up. It's definitely a foul.
That's quite a reckless foul, isn't it, Max, to give away on the edge of the box? Like, you talk about Villa keeping their heads.
Footballing incident.
Yeah,
it's not nasty, but it's just...
No, not nasty, but you don't want to give away free kicks in these areas.
Not at all.
Whether it's Buendia or who'll take this, Gabs?
Digne will take this.
Digne with his left
Listen, Rodgers scored a great one, didn't he, against Leeds away earlier on in the season. Buendia scored one as well, but this is Digne now. You give away the penalty last week. Can you get the fans back
redeem
on side?
Yourself, yeah.
Redeem yourself by scoring.
It's such a good distance, isn't it, Gabs?
Yes.
It's not too close, not too far.
Perfect distance. But what I'll say is, I rate the Forest goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's a good keeper. I'll take it.
If there's anyone that can save a free kick,
I rate the Forest wall. There's some absolute units in there.
Good luck getting it over Milenkovic and Morata. So Buendia or Dean, 20 gone. Villa 0, Forest 0. Free kick for Villa. It's about, 25 yards out. Maybe it's quite central-ish, maybe a little bit more towards the right-hand side.
Yes.
I'm no goalkeeping expert, but correct me if I'm wrong. Does the goalkeeper not look like he's very, very central? I wonder here, Gabs, whether Dean tries to go goalkeeper side here.
Yeah, I think it's difficult because if you go too far to your right... it's
Buendia. And it doesn't get over the wall, but goes out for a corner kick.
Surprised he took it, to be honest. It's definitely a free kick for a left footer. But look at the replay here. Let's have a look where it was going. You know what? It was probably going in. That was going in, wasn't it? Yeah. Fair play to the wall. Brave.
That's what you want.
Villa corner, though. 21 gone. Villa in the last 10 minutes in particular really putting this Nottingham Forest defence under a lot of pressure. Lots of bodies in and around the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. Entering in corner from Cash.
Big head.
And it's a run from Yuri
player, really.
Greatly timed run.
Yeah, he times the run well from deep. He gets his head to it, but he can't direct the goal.
Was that Chris Wood just getting in with that? That's two really important defensive actions from Chris Wood. Being a nuisance there, and then I think a clearance about 2 minutes ago. But Villa have established themselves as the force in this game, and at the minute, Forest, I wouldn't say they're clinging on, but they're holding on.
But you expect it, though. Villa being at home.
Yes.
You got your home advantage here. You got to make the most of it. And Forest will be happy that, there's not been any clear-cut chances. Maybe the Consul one early on. It's not like it's been an onslaught.
That was like a secret chance, wasn't it? That could have easily gone in. But I think, I think the longer this game goes on, with the score as it is, the better it is for Forest, because Villa are going to have to push. And you would think, with the likes of Murillo, Sangare and Morgan Gibbs-White on the bench, that they can bring them on it potentially at some point in the second half and have a really good impact on the counter. Having said that, looking at Morgan, that's the first time I've seen Gibbs-White's face with that mask. maybe he's just there as a presence.
Exactly.
Maybe he's just there to say, to try and make Unai Emery have a think, and Ollie Watkins doing his best to fall over there and win a foul, but fair play, it's what you do.
Yeah. He looked quite not angry, Gibbs-White, but a bit like disappointed there. Like maybe
a horrible feeling. You're the best player at Forest for the
maybe
whole
he
season,
knows that like he's got no chance of coming on. Maybe he has been ruled out, like you said, because you're allowed so many subs now.
Yeah.
Was that Madison on the bench for Spurs at the moment? He's not playing in. He's almost just there for the vibes, really,
exactly.
Right? Gabs, I mentioned that Nico Williams is the underrated player in the Forest team. Yuri Tielemans is an absolute baller, isn't he, for Villa?
Just when you spoke then, he won the ball back. Listen, he's a fantastic player. He is what we thought Douglas Luiz would be, even though he left Villa. He probably has become a better player than Douglas Luiz was when he was at Villa. Fantastic. He always wants to play forward, always on a half turn, works his socks off, and when he can score a goal.
Crystal Palace have got the ball in the net. The goal stands. Crystal Palace are now leading Shakhtar Donetsk 1-0 on the night and 4-1 on aggregate. I think that's Daniel Munoz who scored for Crystal Palace. As the ball comes into the box for Villa, another really good defensive header there from Milenkovic. Ball comes out once again to McGinn. To Rodgers, ball into the box. This time it's Morata who clears, and it comes to Anderson, and he clears off Buendia, and it goes out for a goal.
I was just looking
a bit more luck for judgment there, maybe.
If that ball touches any Nottingham Forest player in the box, I am screaming penalty. I don't care about the new rules. The old rules shouldn't be a penalty.
Any hand.
Any hand, I don't care.
Give it and get on with it.
Even last night's one for PSG.
Well, I was quite surprised given how the games are being refereed. That wasn't given as a pen. Not that I'm complaining about it, but
it would have been a harsh one, though, wouldn't it?
It would have been harsh, yeah. Because he came off his own play, But I mean, just anything now, it's almost like you expect it just to be given. We're midway through the first half then at Villa Park. Aston Villa 0, Nottingham Forest 0 in the other games in Europe this evening. The other game in this competition, Freiburg are leading Sporting Braga, who are down to 10 men by a goal to nil. So it's 2-2 on aggregate in that game. Villa 0, Forest 0. Forest 1 up on aggregate. Crystal Palace are leading Shakhtar Donetsk by a goal to nil at Selhurst Park. Daniel Munoz scoring the goal for them. They are 3-1 up on aggregate in the other game in the Conference League. Strasbourg managed now, of course, by Gary O'Neill. 0-0 the night against Rayo Vallecano. They're 1-0 down Strasbourg on aggregate from the first leg. Max, Forest just struggling here, aren't they, to get out, to string some passes together?
Yeah, no, and that's credit to Villa for the press, and the atmosphere's unbelievable. Another corner for Aston Villa, and at this point, Forest can sort of ride this out till half time. It's been a great.
What do we say though? Always in football, you have to score when you're on top.
Yeah.
Forest are only going to get better. It's been quite a poor start from them, and it happens, doesn't it? Sometimes you've got a goal lead. You don't want to throw too many players forward. But Aston Villa need to score whilst they're on top. Really do.
And they've come close from a couple of set pieces, Gabs. I mean, I'm just so nervous at this point.
Cash corner into the box. That
could be
that was Milenkovic, I think, again. And then it comes to
Watkins,
who heads towards goal.
Is it Eck?
Well, the Villa players aren't happy.
Just caught after he headed the ball.
So Milenkovic wins the first header. Watkins then heads it towards goal, and he is going down, holding his face. And the Villa players are surrounding the referee, saying, "Hang on a minute here." Watkins
I think he was
head to it first.
He was caught after he headed the ball. This will be an interesting one.
Watkins definitely wins the header. He heads the ball into the hands of the goalkeeper. It's whether the Forest player, not sure if that's Morata again, Max,
or Milenkovic,
whether he then makes contact with Watkins after Watkins wins the first header.
Well, they're both hurt. So there's obviously been contact, which is worrying for me because it doesn't matter if he's hurt. We saw this with Zach Abbott and Jesse Derry.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully he's recovering well, by the way, because that was horrible. Zach Abbott was also injured, but he gave away a penalty. I think the key thing here, though, is the referee hasn't given it. Is the replay?
Yeah, it'd be good to see a replay. Forest win the first header.
When he wins it. See, how is that not a penalty? He's absolutely headbutted Ollie Watkins.
Watkins wins the ball.
And he headbutts him in the face.
Taken out.
How's that not a penalty?
So if that's in the middle of the pitch, by the way.
It's a foul.
That gets given as a foul.
That is a penalty.
Well, I'm sure VAR will have a look at it.
They'll be looking at it, of course. But is that one...
Well, it was the same VAR officials as last week. We got no chance with Anderson sending off.
Is that one where...
That's a blatant penalty. That's a no. Look at Watkins. He's throwing his arms up thinking like, that is a penalty.
He's like, welcome to the sort of concussion club.
Max, how did you see that?
I can understand.
Come on.
I think that's probably a penalty.
The referee's saying no to accidental clash, but come on.
Yeah.
Like these are the fine margins. Last week, the red card from Anderson. Fine margins in these games that can...
It's like if someone plays a pass in midfield and they get clipped late, it gets given as a free kick.
Or if that happens...
Why then if Watkins wins the header and then gets taken out...
If that exact thing happens, clash of heads... Look at Watkins now.
Bleeding, yeah.
Yeah, he's so...
This is another one. I mean,
Could both players have to come off in this now?
I mean, at this point, I'd take Morato off happily.
Yeah.
Are they checking it? That's the big question. I still can't ascertain if they're checking it. But I think what you can say is they're both going for the ball. They're both going for the ball.
But Watkins gets there first and then gets headbutted.
Exactly. How's that not a penalty?
No, I'm not going to deny. I'm not going to.
You're right.
I think it probably is.
The Forest defender, to be fair to him, he's only got pure eyes on the ball. But Watkins gets the balls first and then just gets taken out. I can't hear commentary, so I don't know if it's been cleared or not. But judging by the Villa players' reactions, it looks like maybe it has been. But
this is the problem, though, with football now. We don't know what's a penalty. We don't know what's a penalty. We don't understand the handball rule. Like, there could be another game, Sam, in next week where that's a penalty.
Yeah,
you've headbutted a player after his. And it's a painful one for Watkins. There's
a risk he comes off here.
Exactly, I agree. That'll be a deep cut, you know. That'll be a very deep cut.
Yeah, he doesn't look particularly comfortable, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't look like he wants to
blood coming out there. No, of course not.
What a strange.
But it won't be. But it won't be. It won't be a decision, will it, Gabs?
No.
He'll get told whether he's allowed to play.
Maybe if he's lucky, he might get to half time. They're going to bandage it up now, and maybe they say like, let's have a look at half time. But as a player in this moment now, you're sitting there, you're just like, listen.
I just wonder if they are waiting. Again, we can't hear commentary. Our good
friend Danny McCoy is doing TV tonight. He says Villa should have had a penalty. Simple as that.
It's incredible, isn't it? This is the problem. This is where people lose their temper and lose their mind. That's Emery again at half time. He's going to be like, come on. Anderson was a guaranteed red card. The referee didn't get asked to even go and look at VAR screen. It's a blatant penalty.
I'd agree with you, Gabs. I think Watkins gets the ball first. He then gets caught.
It's a harsh one. It's harsh. It happens. If you're running in the box, right, and you get a shot off and you get wiped out, it's a penalty. Yeah. So it's the same just because it's in the air. It's not different.
What's the difference between that one and the penalty that Chelsea got when Zach Abbott and Jesse both went up for the ball? The exact same thing happened.
Same thing happened. Totally agree.
And this is where the interpretation of the laws are incredibly frustrating.
It was the lack of consistency. And it's the lack of consistency, Max, isn't it?
It is.
One decision 2 days ago for pretty much a very similar thing.
Yeah.
And now tonight in a big game like this. I know it's a different competition.
Do you know the problem as well, Sam? Like, you don't want to be talking about this if this stays the same, ball. And Villa go out.
If it stays 0-0, I'm sure Villa fans will,
right? Like last week, and you're like, come on, that's two decisions haven't gone our way. It just baffles me. It's not even a one where some fans are going to be like, I'm not sure. I'm sure, like Max says, even every Forest fan's looking at that and like, we've got away with one.
Yeah, sure.
And the more you see Watkins stay down, you're like, please get up so they can't go look at VAR and get on with the game.
They haven't VAR. I did just wonder if they were going to wait, because of head injuries are so important, if they were just going to wait to see that Ollie Watkins was okay and there was going to be a VAR check. I've got to say, in the modern game, having seen what we saw at Chelsea,
incredible.
I think Forest have got away with one.
There we go. That's a Forest fan saying it, Gab. So I think we're all in agreement that's a penalty, and I think Aston Villa can count themselves pretty unlucky there. But Max, you need luck, don't you, in these big games, these big moments to go your way, right?
You do, and we've had it. You know, I thought Elliot Anderson obviously got the ball first, but I can understand why there's significant frustration from that first leg that he didn't get a red card, and that also. Morato's on a yellow card.
I know. Is it a booking?
Is there a world in which a harsher referee gives a penalty and gives him a second?
I wouldn't want to see that, because I think it is like unlucky, both going for the ball.
Yeah, of course.
At the end of the day, when you contact someone, you don't win the ball in the box. It's a penalty.
Interesting to see Murillo is warming up. And we're talking about Morato, who I said, if you asked any Forest fan who's the biggest liability in this team,
you called it.
Morato on a yellow card, who's just missed a head.
Half-time sub waiting to happen?
Yeah, certainly. I might even say before. The stakes have never been higher. This is the biggest game in Forest's history for 40-odd years.
Yeah.
More than a generation. And so, there's no friends in this game.
No. And he's a pretty good replacement, isn't he, to have coming on, sitting on the bench.
As well, because he's clashed heads as well. You can easily, as a manager, just say, listen, I brought you off because of concussion. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I was worried about you. You can start it out, can't you?
Or you can just
say you've been awful for half an hour, you're coming off,
Yeah. But now this has changed the momentum. Forest are coming into the game.
McAtee, Williams, left-hand side, that's a poor ball into the box. Lindelof wins it, but McAtee wins it back to Nico Williams. Right foot, cross into the box. Buendia does well to come back in. To Dominguez, that volley is high and over. 32 gone. It's still Villa 0, Forest 0, Max.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first bit of pressure. I mean, it's the 32nd minute. I think we had a nice little bit of passage of play in about 8 minutes in. That's the first bit of pressure Forest have had in Aston Villa's half. But sometimes that's all you need to do, Sam. And you'll know this more than anyone, Gabs. It's not necessary. If you can just hold out This is looking good for Forest at the minute. 32 minutes in, it's still goalless. This is exactly what we want. And I imagine the crowd are just losing maybe a little bit of energy at this point in the game as well.
100%. Like we says, there's not been a clear-cut chance. Even here now, trying to force that pass into Watkins. The longer this stays 0-0, the more confidence Forest will get. And like I says, when you're on top, you have to score. Can you just get one over the line? Can you get a set piece that you score?
That's a great ball, though. They are finding those little passes in between the lines, Gabs, and they weren't doing that last week.
You got to pass there, McGinn.
Go on, mate. Go on, James. Do something in that little gap. That's a throw-in.
Are you surprised McAtee starting?
No, he started quite a lot in the Europa League.
Okay.
He started against Chelsea, and I think he's earned his place, particularly when Morgan Gibbs-White obviously has this horrific injury. So. And so far, he's been quite bright for Forest. He's made a couple of decent passes. He's got himself in some decent areas. But now Villa are coming forward again.
Watkins outside the box. Buendia just slips and loses his first. He maybe takes a bit of sting out of the attack, but he gives it to Yuri Tillemans. 25 yards out chance here. Cons has got it now outside the box. Cash with the shot. And it's cleared away, and McAtee plays it to Dominguez, and now possibly Max.
What we do.
The counter for Forest with Hutchinson.
He's just got to knock it.
Oh, just knock it.
Sometimes just knock it. This is the problem now with football.
Be brave and take him on, no?
Yeah, sometimes just knock it. Tillemans get a shot
25 yards out, hits it, drags the shot just wide, Gabs the near post.
Tillemans, listen, I feel both teams are making the wrong decisions there. Listen, Tillemans, he's not one that scores a lot of screamers. Here, great ball by Rodgers into him. Can you take another touch? Can you find someone on the right-hand side?
For a player of his quality, Gabs, he should be testing the goalkeeper there. 25 yards out.
Testing the goalkeeper, but also, that sort of effort there will frustrate a manager like Unai Emery. He'll say, listen, what's the possibility? What's the percentage of you scoring from there? Go out to McGinn and keep the move going. He knows it himself.
And possibly a nervy second half to come at Selhurst Park. Palace will one up on the night against Shakhtar. Shakhtar have just equalised at Selhurst Park. So it's Palace 1, Shakhtar the next one. Palace still 4-2 up, though, from the first leg. But Shakhtar have got hope with that goal being pulled.
They're within themselves a bit, aren't they, Forest?
Yeah.
It seems a bit of a...
But that's credit to you. That's credit to Aston Villa. But having said that, Gabs, it's 0-0.
Exactly.
Right? And that is our job. And if we can get to half-time like this, then you're 45 minutes away from a European final, and as I say, we've got some firepower on the bench.
Yes.
And Forest have proven that from the bench they can make a big impact. And I'm still intrigued. Morgan Gibbs-White is going to want to play this game, and I'm intrigued. What is going on?
He just does okay. It's a long ball gets played forward. Keeper comes, doesn't deal with it. Watkins takes it round the goalkeeper, but then Milinkovic just does enough, doesn't he, Max, to get in front of Watkins and win the ball back. But now a chance for Villa with Buendia inside the box, left-hand side. Has he got that moment of quality? He's in here. Buendia across goal!
Goal! Goal! Get in there! Woohoo! What play from Buendia? Gets in there, Buendia. Great assist. That's what he does, Watkins. He's always in the 6-yard box to put the chance away. It's been coming.
A moment of real quality from Remy Buendia. Gets the ball just outside the box, left-hand side. Shows real quality to get in the box. Get past a couple of Forest players. Can he pick the right pass? He goes across the face of goal. And you'll know this Gab's better than anyone. Ollie Watkins.
That's what he does.
Centre forwards do. Right place.
Yes,
right
but not all centre forwards. Listen, it's a long kick from Martinez. Listen, Watkins does well. He's been a pest all game. Can Milinkovic just clear the ball? Is it Cunha? Gives it away there. Tillemans heads it back to Buendia. And this is just great play from Buendia. Tillemans wins it back into Watkins. Watkins into Buendia. Look at this. Look at it for quick feet. Look at this for quick feet. And
brilliant.
He takes his time. What a ball that is. Nowhere near offside. And Aston Villa 1, Forest 0.
Watkins gives it to Buendia. He then doesn't just stand still. He makes sure he gets into the box in front of the Forest defenders and puts the ball in the back of the net.
You know what as well? The fear now of giving away penalties. The Forest players know they can't make a challenge.
Yeah, because there was 2 Forest players pretty much on top of him, but they didn't want to put a foot in, did they?
You're frightened to make a tackle.
Gabs, for Ollie Watkins, big moment. Not his best season, but is he last few weeks that we just started? Are we just starting to see him getting back to his best, maybe?
Yes, definitely. Watkins, listen, he started the game off in frantic style, but I know a lot of players that come off with that head injury. That's a bad injury he's got, by the way. That's a deep cut and he's played on. I know a lot of players that would have come off. That shows his mentality. But you see then when Rodgers loses the ball, that's what can frustrate Villa fans at time when, he tries little megs when just drive at players.
Yeah.
The art of just knocking
a bit too clever sometimes.
Hutchinson had a chance earlier, didn't he? You're one-on-one against Torres. I used to do it. I didn't complicate it at times and do all these step overs. Sometimes knock the ball past the defender that you're quicker than.
just beat. And we saw in the PSG blind game, get the ball, be quick, be direct, take them on.
But you see here, look at the replay now, Buendia. He's scared to make a tackle. I think it's Cunha's got his hands in the air.
Yeah, Cunha steps away from him.
So scared to make a tackle. I love this one, Buendia. Took his time. What a finish from Watkins.
Yeah.
I've seen those missed, by the way.
Yeah. But the Gab's the composure for Buendia to take his time, keep us calm, and just play it literally.
We saw it last night with Kvaratskhelia. Some players in that position have got the composure. That's one thing Buendia has got. Some players panic there and they shoot or they get rid of it quickly.
Is that a headband celebration there from Ollie Watkins?
Fantastic goal from Aston Villa. Diesel always says you have to score when you're on top, and they've done that. Now, relax. It's 0-0. Relax.
Tielemans into McGinn. He gets spot. McGinn carries forward to Watkins. Watkins! Oh, keeper saves it! To Rodgers!
Rodgers! That's Aston Villa at their best. That's going to lift the stadium. That's Aston Villa. That move is Aston Villa. Tielemans on the half turn into McGinn. What a save by the keeper, by the way.
Yeah, well...
What's Rodgers doing, though? When he comes back to Rodgers...
Yeah. Take a touch. Yeah, take a touch.
We spoke about Buendia's composure there. I can't believe how almost Rodgers just snatched that cross shot, whatever you want to call it.
But look at his play.
But Max, from a Forest point of view, that's too easy, isn't it? That one ball into McGinn.
Max has lost his voice, Sam.
No, I've not lost my voice. You're just watching this and thinking at this point, get in at half time with the scores 1-1. Bring on some subs, make some changes. I think you have to risk Murillo. He's been out for a few weeks, but he's been training with the squad yesterday. He needs to get on the pitch to give a little bit of calm. He's a lot quicker, and he's a much better sort of a much more wily character at the back. And I think him and Milenkovic will just steady the ship a little bit. But it's scores even now, and what we're talking about is Forest trying to get a goal away from home.
It's a new game now, isn't it?
It's a completely different.
It's a new game.
The landscape and dynamic has changed completely. And I'm looking at this. There's going to be a lot of added on time because of the head injury to Ollie Watkins.
You can just tell, though, guys.
A lot of football to play yet.
It just feels like maybe Max, though, for us thinking, get into half-time, regroup, maybe a new game plan and go again.
Yeah. You can tell, though, the atmosphere. You can see the atmosphere.
All the fans are on their feet.
Yes.
And Anderson needs to take this game by the scruff of the neck because he's been pretty absent. He's missed, he's allowed Buendia to put him on his backside, proverbially.
Yes. And McGinn as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, Anderson is the player on the pitch for Forest that needs to take control and command this game.
But isn't this a moment where, like, the big players at Forest, calm down?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 0-0. We're level in the tie. No problem. Calm down. Let's keep the ball for a little bit and let's play.
I think you can see from Villa in their press, they're 10 yards further back. I think they're doing the same thing. They're saying that's a throw into Forest. What is that about?
No, it's not. He's giving it, But even there, keep the ball. If you have to go back to your keeper, you have to go again. You can't keep giving Aston Villa the ball. That's what Villa want. They're so used to being with the ball at home, especially. And you have to see this through now. Yeah,
the dynamics changed completely here, Sam. It's changed completely.
And it's changed completely in the other game, by the way. Sporting Braga 2-1 up from the first leg. Freiburg leading 2-0 on the night. Wow. So it's Freiburg 2, Sporting Braga 0. And Freiburg lead 3-2 on aggregate. So possibly, as things stand, the winner of this game will take on Freiburg. Chance Nava Hutchinson up against Pau Torres, who slips. But that's really good play.
Well done, Buendia.
Does really well
done. That's what you want to see, Buendia. But again, Hutchinson's got to do better there. You've got Torres 1v1. He lacks pace. He's fantastic on the ball.
He didn't fancy that 1-on-1, did he, Torres?
Exactly. Torres was thinking, Buendia, thank you for saving my life there. But Forest have to offer more going forward because I can see Villa scoring again in this tie. They're going to need a goal at least, Nottingham Forest. What do you think, Max?
Yeah, no, we're going to have to get on the score sheet. Simple as. I mean, we said at the start of the game that this could easily go to penalties, but I can't see Villa not scoring without Forest changing something. And for me, that changes Morato coming off at half-time, if not now, for Murillo. 45 minutes is surely enough. He's been training with the squad. He needs to come on. And the big question is Morgan Gibbs-White.
How long's he got? I mean, and Sangare in midfield for that energy, those legs, that quality of possession.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the hope for Forest, right? That's the hope, is we've got a lot on the bench here. Things can change. And in a European semi-final, with the pressure on both teams, anything can happen. This isn't done just yet, boys. It's not.
Oh, no. But how fit is Sangare? How fit is Murillo? How can Morgan Gibbs-White even play? We'll find out when we over the course of the second half.
Exactly, it remains to be seen. But Amari Hutchinson is Forest's biggest threat at the minute. His end product hasn't been perfect so far, but his pace is troubling Aston Villa, and he's made some runs, and it's slightly changing. It's nice to see Forest having a little bit of the ball where you would want them to. Villa are sitting off as well. I mean, I don't know why Villa haven't gone for the jugular here, because your fans are up, and now you've got 11 men in your own half.
It's harder sometimes, though, isn't it? Because as much as you're an attacking side, you want to be sensible. And look, it just looks to me this Forest team are missing their star player. because even that moment there, when the centre half gets the ball, he tries to play Chris Wood in, Gibbs-White. You know, you find him, he does something special. I really like that player. Honestly, I'm so happy he's not playing at the moment. If he comes on, it'll be a different game.
Do you think he is going to come on, Gabs? Because, or do you
look at that injury.
This is just like we're having him on the bench?
I don't think he will because of the sort of injury he's got. And sometimes these doctors, they don't care about, it's a big game. It's just that. They care about the player's health.
Rightly so.
You know what it's like.
But surely the doctors aren't going to put him on the bench.
Yeah, so why is he on the bench then?
I don't know. Is it to mess around with Unai Emery's head? Although they've got Morgan Gibbs-White is in the squad, you never know.
Look how much space here. Matty Cash has got down the right-hand side just to carry the ball into, Max.
Yeah, no, the press that was working so effectively in recent games for Forest isn't quite there tonight, and I think it's because we've got so many injuries, and we're just sort of still working this out. But I'm staying calm. It's 1-1. Anything can happen, and I think, this is all to play for, and I can't wait for half-time. If this is still 1-1 at half-time, I'm really intrigued, Sam, to see what Vitor Pereira does in terms of changes, because there's so many options for him on the bench. And like you say, you don't want to risk it, but equally, with Forest surely safe mathematically, I think you can take a few risks here. I think you can take a few risks, and, with Murillo, with Sangare, maybe even Morgan Gibbs-White.
Such good play from Villa, though, here.
Yeah. No,
you look at Villa's wingers, McGinn and Brendir, they're coming in and making it 4 or 5 players in that middle of the pitch, making it difficult for Nottingham Forest. They're chasing shadows at time Forest. But like you says, we're level, but the pressure's off Aston Villa a bit now. You got that goal, okay, it's no panic stations now. You can buy your time. That's what they're doing. They're controlling the game.
Villa have had 11 shots to Forest's 2, 5 on target. Much better than that first leg. Ollie Watkins scoring his 7th goal at Villa Park in Europe. The joint most of any Aston Villa player, levelling with Peter With. In the other game, confirmation, Freiburg now ahead on aggregate. 2 up on the night against Braga, 3-2 on aggregate. And in the Conference League semi-final, Rayo Vallecano away at Strasbourg. 1 up on the night, 2 up on aggregate. Gary O'Neill.
Tell you what,
McGinn's been fantastic.
Elliot Anderson cannot handle John McGinn.
No, he can't. McGinn's been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The way he uses his body, give the ball away there, sloppy, no need, John. But the way he uses his body, John McGinn, no one. It doesn't matter if you're 6'5" and you weigh 95 kilos.
His strength.
It doesn't matter with John McGinn. He's so strong.
We've got 30 seconds then to go until half-time. Villa leading 1-0 on the night, 1-1 on aggregate, and that's not another head injury, is it?
It looks like
Ellie Anderson's gone down. Oh, not a head injury, is it?
Does someone kick the ball at him? Yeah, I think is it McGinn that kicks the ball off his head?
I think,
accidental. He's a strong lad.
Yeah, he's a strong lad. Top player. We got 15 seconds until the 45 minutes.
You're going to be about it on time, though, isn't it?
5 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, I would say so.
Like 5 minutes, yeah.
I mean, that fair play to Buendia.
So composed.
Composure,
No, in that moment, I've been there. In that moment, everything freezes.
Yeah.
Everything freezes. You can't hit anything.
It looked like he almost freezed, didn't it?
Yeah, you freeze and you're like, okay, what do I do? The most experienced players and composed players do what Buendia does.
I'm glad I didn't say it, but I was like, he's definitely going to shoot here and hit it straight into the goalkeeper. He did really, really well. We've got 4 minutes of time. We never get the right amount of time.
That was definitely longer than 4 minutes.
Just Watkins felt like he was down for about 6
you
or
got
7
the goal
minutes,
as well.
See, that's a poor ball.
Giving the ball away, aren't they?
And then you got to reset. Well done from Igor Jesus. He's solid as a rock.
They're giving the ball away too easily. Elliot Anderson here. What other changes could you see from Forest?
Murillo, number 1 priority, because Morato can't deal with it and he's on a yellow card. And look, Villa should be 2-0 up, or they should have had a penalty, right?
Why do ref not play on there?
Yeah, it's such a good advantage.
You're not going to book John McGinn for that, so why not play on?
Yeah,
but he's pumped John McGinn. He's really pumped captain's performance.
Yeah.
Cheeky little.
But the referee's got to carry on there unless he's booked him.
Play on.
But look, tit for tat, isn't it? You get some referee decisions your way, and I think that is what it is. But as a Forest fan, I'm being really honest. Villa should have had a penalty, and it could easily be 2-0. Ponce has had a great chance. Could be 3-0.
Getting in 1-0 at half time, I don't think it's a bad result for Forest. Given how poor you've been in this first half.
And there's no need to panic. Chris Wood's coming here on goal as long as he's not offside. That's not a bad ball whatsoever.
Great defending. I'm sorry, but that's too easy from Chris Wood. That's soft. He should not be in Concert out muscling him there that easily.
Concert's bullied him there. Yeah.
Is that another change you look at as well? Has the front two worked?
I think it'll work if you bring someone like Sangare in.
Yeah.
And it'll certainly work if you bring Morgan Gibbs-White in the picture. Again, I think that's going to be key, whether he comes on at half time.
That's a poor ball. That was Gabs. Buendia got the ball just outside the box, and he tries to play it forward.
They're lost at sea. Villa are all
Forest need half time, Max, don't they?
Desperate for it. Alan, we got 2 more minutes.
2 minutes,
half time. Crikey Moses here, boys. Just
Dean with the ball. We'll make you a nice strong cup of tea, Max, at half time. But it is Aston Villa who have got possession
I like
here.
that from the referee, though. There's a foul
He's letting
on
things go.
There's a foul on Brendia, and Tielemans has literally stopped waiting for a foul. Play on to the referee.
right, lever it.
Play on to the
What
referee.
is-
There's another foul there.
Is it what? Oh,
Cunha on Brendia.
All on a yellow card for the right back as well.
Another defender on a yellow card.
Yeah.
Precious piling on us here. Precious piling on us. But I trust in Vitor Pereira. He's got this.
Ooh.
No, don't be asking for red.
No, I'm not asking. I'm just saying he caught him above the boot there.
That's not a red card, but
No.
like I don't.
Nasty tackle though, isn't it?
But that's what happens when you put a centre back at right back. Do you know what I mean? I tell you what,
He looks quite rash, doesn't he, Max? He's a bit reckless, like he's a bit too gung ho.
What I'd be tempted to do, particularly now he's on a yellow card, is I would be tempted, to bring Luca Netz on, who was brilliant against Chelsea.
Yep.
He's a young left back we got from Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Williams right back.
He was written off essentially by Sean Dyche. She said he was too young and inexperienced. He was fantastic at Stamford Bridge, and put Nico Williams at right back. And then you've got, and Luca Netz is a great ball carrier. He's got a lot of pace. He's obviously not as big and strong as Cunha, but I think you're seeing the issues of having a centre back at right back.
A minute to go until half time. Can Forest get through this Aston Villa free kick? Yuri Tielemans has got a free kick. Left hand side, which he whips into the box. Goalkeeper comes. Really good goalkeeping. Comes, collects, catches. No pushy, no parrying. And now possibly, Max, a counter attack from Nottingham Forest.
Counter attack. Put them back in their
This
box.
would be smash and grab, wouldn't it?
This would be unbelievable. But the problem is, that is what that is why Elliot Anderson is top. It's very difficult to get the ball off him. And look, John McGinn has had the better half out of those two. He's won that battle, right? But alleviate the pressure. Now you've got one opportunity. Put the big men in the box, launch it, go and get a goal.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what they're going to do here. We played the 4 minutes of time added on. You imagine they can just try and stam this up.
Is that Elliot Anderson getting the better of Morgan Rogers again?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
No nutmeg, though, so far in this first half, which feels a little bit underwhelming.
I bet he wishes he could have, though.
Yeah, he's going to try to at some point, maybe, isn't he?
Yeah. But what they've got to do, Forest, as well, is target set pieces, because Villa have got a small side. They really have. Compared to Forest, they haven't got many big players apart from the two centre-halves and Lindelof.
Here we go. I can feel something in the area.
Even Brendia there at the back post. You know, you look at that, do you target that back post area?
He's taking his shirt, isn't he?
Yeah, Anderson whips it in. On the first touch.
You can't take that on your chest.
You've got to put it back straight in the box. Yeah. Anyway, we'll take this at half time. Villa have been far the better team.
Yes.
And is that half time? Yes, it is.
Half time then at Villa Park. A fun and frantic and entertaining first 45 minutes where Aston Villa were by far the better of the two sides. And they do go in at half time 1-0 up on the night, which is 1-1 on aggregate. A lovely assist from Emi Buendia. Good close ball control outside the box, carrying it inside the box, getting past a couple of Forest players, kept his composure going across the face of goal. And Ollie Watkins was in the right place at the right time, makes a really good, clever run and puts the ball past the goalkeeper. It is set up just perfectly for the second half. 1-0 Villa on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. talkSPORT Goals is back in a couple of minutes' time.
You mentioned those Arsenal critics, Martin. Do you think there'll be a fair bit of humble pie dished out at the end of the season?
I don't really care, Jim. As I said, this is the first season since Arteta's been there. I said maybe they can win the league this year. I'll back them to win it. They still haven't done that. And with Pep in the building, there's lots of speculation. Will he be here? Won't he? Is he not even responding to that to create this extra energy and this drive for his team? Bernardo Silva, who's been an amazing servant for the football club, going as well. So it creates that, that finish, that final hurdle.
But in here many times, Martin, you've bristled a few times, more than a few times, when people have come at you about, no, let's get this right. Arsenal
Well,
have got to show that they can do it, etc., etc. You've bristled a few times.
No, I bristle at the bottling claim, and I should think it's insulting. And I heard Simon use perpetuity, the word forever, and it certainly wasn't around in my day. And if they go on and win the league and the Champions League this year, in fact, I'll take one of those trophies, Jim. I don't think that could be said about this group ever again.
Martin, brilliant. You think it's got a bit too cosy with Danny and Simon? Wednesday morning?
I don't know whether Simon is using the back complaint because he's just not happy that Arsenal are in the Champions League final. I don't know. I can't work it out. Oh, he's woken up. He's woken up.
He is here. He is here. You're not using the back complaint at all, are you?
Unfortunately, my earphones have unplugged, so I haven't had to do Keown's dribble.
A very good evening and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. talkSPORT Goals is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and also on your smart TVs. I'm your host, Sam Ellard, alongside Gabby Abonlahor and Max Scott for the big game this evening in the Europa League semi-final second leg. Nottingham Forest were 1-up on aggregate before a ball was kicked this evening at half-time. Aston Villa lead Nottingham Forest on the night by 1-0. Ollie Watkins scoring 10 minutes before half-time. A wonderful assist from Emi Buendia. Watkins, right place, right time, making a really good, clever run. It is 1-1 on aggregate. Elsewhere this evening, in the other Europa League semi-final, Freiburg have completely turned it around against Sporting Braga. 2-0 up on the night, which means they're now 3-2 up on aggregate, having trailed by 2-1. In the Conference League, Crystal Palace led Shakhtar Donetsk by 1-0. They equalised, though, 10 minutes before half-time, so 1-1 on the night. But Palace 4-2 up on aggregate, and they've got a cracking chance of making that Conference League final. If they do make the final, it's looking likely they will face Rayo Vallecano. 1 up at Strasbourg, 2 up on aggregate from the 2 legs. Gabby, for Villa, so far so good.
That has been the Aston Villa that Aston Villa fans have fell in love with under Unai Emery. A team that's up for it, they're aggressive, they're pressing, they're playing in their triangles. You know, I think Buendia has been very good. McGinn has been a captain's performance. Ollie Watkins soldiering on with that head injury, a bad one. And they've got to continue that. The only problem I've got is Villa always find a way to do it the hard way.
Pens?
It should be 2 or 3, and the tie's level. Nottingham Forest can only get better. They're going to get a right rollicking off their manager at half-time. They can only come out, maybe a couple of changes, and treat it as if it is a semi-final. They haven't.
And Max, is that a good thing for Forest? You weren't good, but you're still in it. It's 1-1, and you'd imagine that you can't get any worse than that first 45?
I think it can.
It can. You'd hope not, though, right?
It can. I don't think it will. As I've been saying all half, I think it's really important that we make some changes at half time. I think we're clearly missing Morgan Gibbs-White. He's our talisman. We're playing an inexperienced but inexperienced centre back at right back. He's my build. He's 6'7", and he's playing. And he's playing at And he's playing at right back. So I think there needs to be a change there.
How big are your boots, Max?
I'm about 10 foot. And also you got to remember this side played on Monday. Right, the fixture schedule
that was brutal, wasn't it,
has been pretty unfair, I would say, just because it's a bank holiday and Sky want an extra game on the Monday. I mean, I'm not a fan of that, and so I think they're suffering a little bit. But we're lucky that it's evens at half time. It's all to play for. Don't write this Forest side off because Vitor Pereira has got something special going with this team. And when a Forest at their best, Forest are at their best when nobody expects them to succeed. Forest are at their best, backs against the wall. So I'm not making a bold prediction. I'm just saying don't write us off just yet.
Gabby, the goal is wonderful. Yes. Emi Buendia at his absolute best.
Yeah, I think you look at it here now, the replay. Watkins gives it Buendia, but it's good feet from Buendia. But I'll just look at Anderson and Cunha. They're so scared now of what can happen with penalties being given. 10 years ago, they make a tackle there, win the ball, they risk it. But you have to give Buendia credit. And just the assist, you know, Ollie Watkins knows where to run. They've got that partnership. Look at him here, Ollie Watkins in the middle. He knows where he should be. Look at him. How many strikers do we see that are on the edge of the 6-yard box, on the penalty spot, waiting for it to be cut back? That's where you score your goals. That's where even Gyökeres now is scoring his goals. A proper striker, and fair play to him.
Almost in the middle of 5 Forest defenders, and then just like that makes that clever run round the back post, round the Forest player. And he's got an easy tap in.
Sometimes as a striker, you speak to your wingers, your number 10s, and you say, "Listen, you get into that position, you square it." He scored a similar goal in the quarter-final, second leg against Bologna.
Yeah,
I don't know who it was who put it on across the face of the goal, but he was there again for the tap-ins. The amount of goals you can score from tap-ins in that 6-yard box. I just don't know. This is not a penalty.
The TV pictures right after that Watkins goal, Max, have gone to the possible Watkins penalty. There's a ball was high in the air. Watkins clearly gets the ball ahead of Morato. And then Morato, who, to be fair to him, is only looking at the ball.
Of course.
But he then does headbutt Ollie Watkins. And I think we all in agreement. And Max, you're a Forest fan, but even you say we might have got away with that one there.
Yeah, I think we have. I think it's a penalty. I think the exact same thing happened between Zach Abbott and Jesse Derry on Monday at Stamford Bridge. And in a modern game, that is a penalty. Yeah. It's one of those frustrating things for Villa fans where outside the box we know that that's probably a yellow card as well, and a free kick. But it's just it's the modern game. Referees are scared of giving those in the box. So I think as a Forest fan, we're lucky that they haven't got a penalty. It would have been 2-0, and then all of a sudden Forest have to play an expansive game without their best player in Morgan Gibbs-White. So they've got a chance here. You know, I'm not writing us off.
This is where top managers make their money. This is why they get paid 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million pound a year. Half-time talks like this. If you're the Nottingham Forest manager, you're galvanising these players. Say, listen, we don't do that second half. You got a chance of a cup final.
There'll be some changes.
Will give you a chance.
We are 5 or so minutes away from half-time. Let me tell you about some prize boosts with William Hill. Ollie Watkins has scored 2 or more goals. Impact sub applies inside 90 minutes. Was 5-2, now 3-1. The match to go to penalties was 7-2, now 9-2. Chris Wood to score anytime. Impact sub applies inside 90 minutes. Was 4-1, now 5-1. And with William Hill, you get ACCA boost on all of your accumulators with 4 or more picks tonight or whenever, up to a 100% boost for ACCAs or 15 legs, 18 plus, gambleaware.org. 1-0 Villa on the night, 1-1 in aggregate. The match is poised perfectly. We're taking one more quick break on talkSPORT Goals. Then when we come back, we're taking you through the second half.
You want to come back as a racehorse. Honestly, it's so much better than being, you know, a show jumper or a dressage or whatever. Racehorses get treated so well because at the end of the day, you need them to run as fast as you can and perform for you.
We got here at 5:30 and I was like, there's already people looking after the horses already that early.
Massages earlier on.
Yeah, the best feed. Yeah, 4 times a day. We only get fed 2.
We get groaned at by this lot.
It's been my missus here. Look after.
I wanted to ask you about Sir Alex Ferguson because obviously we all had that scare at the weekend when we heard this news about Sir Alex taking unwell. We believe that he's doing well. But is that what you guys had in common as well? Was that horse racing back in the day? Did you guys have that in common?
I spoke to him. I was on the phone to him for 40 minutes that morning. Wow. We're talking about football. We're talking about horses. As I say, he's got horses here. Most Saturday mornings, he gives me a call and we go through all the horses for the day, and we share, you know, what we know and things like that. So we might have his horse running on Friday at Chester. So yeah, I speak to him regularly, and he sounded absolutely brilliant, sharp as a tack as normal. We were talking a lot about Scottish football and what was happening up there. So it was such a shock to hear, obviously, that the next day he was he was taken unwell, but hopefully it's not too serious.
Have you spoken to him since, mate?
I haven't since, but I would expect a message on my phone any time now, because he'll see that we've got 4 or 5 runners today at Chester, and he'll be wondering what's going on. Which horse should he be looking at?
A very good evening and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. talkSPORT Goals is brought to you by William Hill's final one standing, 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Our attention this evening is on Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest led 1-0 from the first leg, but Aston Villa are 1-0 up on the night thanks to Ollie Watkins' goal 10 or so minutes before half-time. In terms of some price boosts live with William Hill, if you fancy it at half-time, Ollie Watkins has scored 2 goals or more. Impact sub applies. Inside 90 minutes was 5-2, now 3-1. Match to go to penalties was 7-2, now 9-2. Chris Wood to score any time. Again, impact sub applies. Inside 90 minutes was 4-1. It is now 5-1 there. We are not long away from getting underway in the second half. Villa 1, Forest 0, aggregate 1-1. In the other Europa League semi-final, Freiburg have turned things around. They trail 2-1 against Sporting Braga before a ball was kicked this evening. Sporting Braga are down to 10 men and are losing 2-0 on the night. So Freiburg 2 up, 3-2 up on aggregate. For Crystal Palace, so far so good for them. 3-1 up on aggregate going into tonight. They took a 1-0 lead, but Shakhtar Donetsk have equalised. So it's 1-1 on the night. Palace 4-2 up on aggregate, and it's Strasbourg 0, Rayo Vallecano 1. The away side there, the Spanish outfit, are 2-0 up on aggregate and possibly could be meeting Crystal Palace in the Conference League final. I am your host, Sam Ellard, alongside me, Gabby Abonlahor and Max Scott. Gabby, it's your talkSPORT Goals debut tonight. Have you enjoyed this evening so far?
I've enjoyed it. I felt really welcomed by everyone here, mate.
Have you?
Yeah, if only the breakfast show could be as nice as you guys.
It's a small team, but it's a good team.
Yeah, you're a good, nice bunch, and we're looking here now. Forest, Yates coming on.
Oh, okay, Max. Who would this be for? If you had to take a guess,
maybe Dominguez. I don't know. Or maybe he's going to play
a right back. Maybe,
and maybe he's going to take Morato off and play free at the back. I don't know. It's a difficult one. But I tell you what, I'm disappointed not to see Murillo coming on, because you've got 2 defenders there on yellow cards. Again, why is he on the bench if he's not there to come on? Vitor Pereira made changes at half-time at Stamford Bridge, and I'm surprised he's not done it, but I'm not writing him off.
McAtee.
I
did say to you, didn't I? Was you surprised that he was starting? And
I tell you why he's done that, because Forest have absolutely lost that midfield battle, right? And Ryan Yates was the best player on the pitch against Stamford Bridge. Bar, by the way, and I've mentioned him a couple of times, Jesse Derry, who for Chelsea looked brilliant and looked like a spark, but I digress. Ryan Yates was the best player on the pitch.
Where would he play now, though? Change the formation?
4-3-3. Yeah.
Eagle Jesus go on the left, maybe?
Yeah, he's going to have to, isn't he? Yeah. I think it's a bit of a sort of hodgepodge sort of forward line. And Yatesy, I rave about him. He's my favourite Forest player I've ever watched of all time. Not because he's the best player that I've ever seen, but because he plays with aggression and fight. And you do not want to play. He's like John McGinn. You don't want to play against him.
Yes, he's everywhere.
And this means so much to Yatesy, let me tell you. And so this could be the thing that turns the tide in that midfield battle, which Aston Villa have been absolutely dominating, haven't they, Gabs?
Yeah, and little changes like that can make a big difference. Listen, McAtee, I like him as a player, but he wasn't doing much, was he, on that?
Couple of really nice balls early on in the game, but he did. Again, this has been the criticism maybe from Forest fans, that he's not, in the chances he's been given this season, he really imposed himself on the game, and he's not necessarily got that in him yet. And I think he's very similar to Phil Foden. He needs things around him maybe to be working well, and maybe that's a bit of too harsh on Phil Foden, who's getting a lot of flack.
He's there as well.
We did try and get Prince William on the Goal Show tonight, Gabs. He unfortunately politely declined our request.
He's got my seat. That's what.
Has he got your seat?
He's got my seat. You can have it.
Yeah, you can have it.
Prince.
You can have it. It looks like very, very early on in this second half, Max.
Looks like a weird
like more
formation.
Elliot Anderson's more playing towards the left-hand side, and it is Jesus and Wood kind of seals the two again up top.
I mean, the only width Forest are going to get is from Amari Hutchinson on that right-hand side. However, Forest have been doing that since we were 1-0 down at half-time against Burnley. That's the way they've been playing. Morgan Gibbs-White has been vacating a lot of space on the left, whether it's wide, whether it's central, and Nico Williams has been filling in, doing as much as he can, overlapping on that left-hand side. But again, balls coming into the box, Forest struggling to deal with it. Shocking touch from Ollie Watkins.
You know what, though? What I will say is that compared to the first leg, Ollie Watkins is having a lot more joy. He's holding the ball up a lot better against two centre-halves. And maybe they got a bit complacent with the first leg because they had everything that come long. Even that chance there for the ball into Watkins, they've got to do a lot better.
Yeah. Do you think Watkins goes to the World Cup as Kane's backup striker?
I think it's all up in the air. I still think Calvert Lewin scoring goals, isn't he? I don't think Slanky will go off injury problems, but his form since he got left out of the last squad has been very good, Watkins.
I don't know if do you think for me, it looked like he was almost sort of playing with an injury throughout parts. Like he kind of was lacking that sharpness, making those killer runs. Playing
through an injury, and also sometimes you need that little push. That little push of like, okay, if the England manager's saying you're not good enough to be in the squad, okay, you've got to liven up a bit. You've got to go to the Ollie Watkins that got you picked for the last squad before the one he was left out of. And he has done. And today he's been electric. He's been a pest for the Nottingham Forest backline.
Yeah, hasn't stopped running. Took his goal really, really nicely. So we're 2 minutes in then to our second half. Aston Villa are leading Nottingham Forest by a 1-0. Max, what do you think Vitor Pereira's message would have been at half-time to the Forest players?
I think it would have been, you need to win the midfield battle. It will have been Jacuna and Morato stay disciplined because you're both on yellow cards. And Morgan Gibbs-White, get warmed up, son, because we're going to need you. And I'm desperately hoping for him personally that he gets on the pitch because this is the biggest game of his career that unfortunately he's not able to play a full part in.
Max, I think we might, correct me if I'm wrong, even have a system change for us. It looks like Jacuna has gone, is he playing more as a right centre-back there? And it's gone to a back five. It looks like the three centre-halves look really, really close to each other.
Yeah, no, and that means Amari Hutchinson, the smallest player on the pitch, who put an absolute shift in against Aston Villa last week, was my man of the match, actually. He's going to have to put a shift in defensively because he's not that player, is he? He's got some pace, but he needs to just be in the right areas and be a nuisance. But Villa are coming again.
John McGinn with... it's a really good ball into the box. John McGinn with a good ball into the box. He kind of ends up going through everyone, Gabby. I know Aston Villa player can direct that to the goal.
It's a great ball, but look, if you're Nottingham Forest player here, you've got to get out to the ball and stop the cross. Yeah. That was Martin O'Neill's pet hate. If you didn't stop the cross, you know you're in trouble. You have to stop the cross, and it's been quite easy for Villa to get crosses in throughout this first 50 minutes.
Crystal Palace are in dreamland. They will be dreaming of that Conference League final. They have got a cracking chance of getting there. Ismail Assar scored Palace's second goal of the night. They are leading Shakhtar Donetsk by 2-1. 5-2 up in aggregate. They play 52 minutes at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace, possibly 40 minutes away from the Conference League final. Munoz scoring the first goal. It might have even gone down as an own goal. But it's a really, really good, dangerous ball whipped into the box by Tyrone Mitchell from the left-hand side. And Ismail Assar does really, really well at the near post. Sticks out a right boot, directs it goalwards. And Palace leading 2-1. 5-2 up in aggregate. What a night for them at Selhurst Park.
Gabby, They've got to do better, Forest. Even from playing from the back there. The loopy ball that the centre-half played into one of their forwards. If you're playing that ball, you've got to find Wood.
Yeah, but I tell you what I liked about that though, Yatesy, letting Buendia know that he's there. That's his job, right? Make it difficult, make it ugly. Because so far it's been pretty easy for Aston Villa, I would say.
Yeah, the second half has started off quite similar-ish to the first half. Aston Villa here just with lots of possession, sort of in around the halfway line. Forest not looking to press Villa too high up on the pitch.
Forest really miss? Pace of Hudson-Odoi as well. On his day, he's unplayable.
On that counter-attack as well, he's got that...
On his day, he's like so quick.
Is this a new thing, by the way? Bit of... you can tell Ryan Yates thought, I'm going to get stuck in and try and make something happen there, right?
He's the nicest... S-housery merchant there is in the Premier League. He's a bit like Fernandinho for City, but he gets more yellow cards.
But you've needed this, haven't you? Someone to be aggressive, try and win the ball and get in the face of the Villa, right?
That's exactly what he needs to do, and he's doing his job.
He's a bit on Buendia here. Well, you see, that's a foul.
Yeah, it's a yellow card.
That's a foul. If he stays down there, Buendia, he gets a yellow card, Yates. Maybe Yates, I get what he's trying to do, but maybe take it down a notch.
Yeah,
because you don't want to see the yellow, and then, like, you know, you could get sent off.
Yeah. But no, I mean, look, Aston Villa are in total control here. You know, you just look at the way that they're set up, and Forest are trying to change the system on the fly in the second half. But that is a dreadful ball. But again, a really poor clearance. Forest just not on it yet. Not quite.
Not winning the second balls.
No, they're not. And they've got to change the tide because, you know, they're in the back garden of Aston Villa. The crowd are up. They've got to sort that out.
Well, this is what Aston Villa want. They want teams sitting off like this, and, you know, everyone's playing silky football. You've got the McGinns and Buendias to add to the midfield to create an overload. This is what Villa want.
But if you're Villa, and you're Villa fans, you're watching this, you're not worried about Forest scoring.
No, you're not, but you know he can change.
Of course it can.
But even there, that's the
see it happen, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Speaking about the a lot about the Forest changes, what sort of changes would Aston Villa make as this game goes on?
None. Wouldn't touch
bench
anybody.
Doesn't look anywhere near as strong as Forest.
The bench, the bench. I don't trust Leon Bailey. I don't trust Sancho. Maybe if Aston Villa need a goal later on, you could maybe say there could be Tammy Abraham might come on, but as long as it stays like this, you will not see any changes from the manager. Someone's got a yellow card here.
Oh, it's
Member of the Forest.
Yeah, one of the Forest.
Both assistants now.
Yeah.
Giving it large.
He's not happy, is he, Maxi?
No, he's not.
They're not happy, are they?
No, I mean, I tell you what, I'm looking at the bench.
Let's have a look. Is it a foul?
It's a foul.
I can see that giving us a yellow card as well.
I don't think that's a yellow. He's a little bit late. I don't.
Oh,
he just
maybe
catches him.
he does on the top.
But I think if he's not giving the Yates yellow, I don't think you can then give him a yellow.
And that's exactly what the referee's thinking, I'd imagine, Sam. But I'm looking at the bench. You've got Dan Indoy and Dylan Bakwa, right? Pacey wingers that can beat players. I'd be thinking, you know, you either bring one of them on and leave Amari Hutchinson and just go for the win, or Dan Indoy is an absolute unit. He's a great athlete. He's not just technically gifted. He's strong and he's quick. And he could do a job, I think, more of a job defensively on that right-hand side. And, you know, you've bought these players. You've spent millions in the summer. Marinakis has opened his wallet yet again. This is why he's bought it. He's bought this sort of second-string team to back them up in Europe. And we need to see it because currently we don't look like scoring.
Will the big man be there this evening?
I
haven't seen him yet.
I would imagine
he must be there.
He was at the bridge. I'd imagine.
Yeah, you see him leaving the bridge.
100%.
Yeah, he got a great reception, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think Chris Wood's got to do a bit more. Like,
yeah, he hasn't been as strong and physical as I thought. Like Watkins is making a nuisance of himself, isn't
I'd say it's been quite easy of a concert. You're looking at the balls coming forward and you're thinking, like, Chris Wood, the least you've got to do because you're not quick is like make it difficult. Make it difficult for the centre halves. So far, the two up front hasn't worked.
No, it's not, but I wouldn't change it though, Gabs, because it's been the recipe for our changing fortunes. And I tell you what's missing, it's Morgan Gibbs-White. And I'm just waiting for the camera to pan to him and see him at least warming up, give Villa something to think about.
I think we're getting him tonight. I can't believe he's on the bench, especially if you go 2-0 down and you need a goal. And
it'd be interesting to see, though, to know if someone can find out if he's actually been out to warm up. That will tell you a lot.
Yeah, I reckon.
The first half and the second half.
If he had gone to warm up, the cameras would have panned to him, and it would have been. We would have seen him. Villa going to win a corner kick here. I
feel like if he's not warmed up in the first half and he's not been out in the second half, you saw, and half time as well. You saw,
and it was a look on his face, Gabs. You mentioned it when it panned to him at the beginning of the game. He just looked forlorn. He looked like all his energy had been taken out. And maybe
also, like I said, the doctors will not care about Marinakis, the manager saying he has to play,
and rightly so.
Safety comes first for all players.
But would they put him on the bench? Would they allow him on the bench?
Well, Maddison was, and Maddison has been, and they've been saying that Maddison's got no chance of coming on. So,
Gabs worked the corner short to Buendia, cross goal, chance, penalty.
That's a penalty.
Oh, I tell
referee,
you what,
that's a penalty. Referee,
not given. McGinn shoots. This is absolute bedlam.
Referee, he pulls him back.
He definitely has a pull of his shirt.
Referee, if this goes out of play, they're going to look at this.
They work the corner.
They're going to see.
Oh, they are. They've
pulled him back.
They've stopped the game. Villa worked the corner short. Ball comes into the box.
He pulled him back. Look at this. That's a foul. That's going to be given. That's going to be given. You can't.
What's he doing? Why is he holding his shirt in the box?
That's a penalty.
Milenkovic.
That's a penalty.
Completely.
All day.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Okay, let's go another level. If that's not given, I'm going home.
No, it's
simple as that. I'm walking out.
That's the most clear penalty.
That is a penalty all day.
Why is he yanking his shirt in the box? Why would
he is holding his shirt? I know. He's holding.
Referee, you better go over to that VAR screen, wherever it is. You better go over. Do not wind me up.
I tell you what, it's similar to the one that we saw Malo Gusto.
He's going over.
Have to go. It's a penalty all day.
Max. Why is Milenkovic taking that risk?
You know the rules.
In a game of this magnitude, it's stupidity.
It is. He's completely lost concentration. And what's frustrating about this, I'd say, Sam, is we've just seen at the bridge on Monday night, on Monday afternoon, Malo Gusto, lazy defending, pulling on Taiwo's shirt.
Oh, he's...
But also, he doesn't need to pull his shirt.
No.
He's not going to get the shot away. He's got 4...
Exactly.
I can't believe a player who I rate so highly, by the way.
You know the problem I've got
stupid.
with it, guys, is that these defenders, you're not in 2005, you get away with that. Nowadays, you don't get away with it. All day a penalty.
Penalties given.
Yeah. Silly.
But also, it's one of those where it's like, he holds on to it just for too long,
I don't know who takes it. Aston Villa's last penalty was in the Europa League quarter-final. Morgan Rogers missed. So I'm not sure who takes this. I'm really not sure.
Gabs, we'll leave this to you then. Aston Villa, penalty kick.
Listen, it's a great play from Tielemans into Buendia.
Such a poor decision from someone, a stalwart, professional, solid. And it's like the occasion's got to him. You've just seen it happen for you at Stamford Bridge.
Digne as well. Digne's penalty. Like, everything he's looked at now. You know, the problem you've got to look at now is, like, with the cameras, with the VAR, everything's looked at, Sam. I get it. He's probably thinking, oh, the referee can't see his view. But everything is on the VAR now. You don't get away with anything.
I think he's a top centre-half. I can't believe he takes that gamble.
Buendia, come on.
Emi Buendia against Stefan Ortega.
Come on.
To put Villa 2 up on the night.
Come on. Come on. Camera's ready. Let's go. Vamos. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Buendia.
Go! Get in there! Go on, Taylor! Maximus! Look at the prince! Look at the future king! God save! How are you, Maxi? Up the Villa! Up the Villa! Woo-hoo! Get in there! Vamos! Vamos! Buendia!
Just to confirm, in case you didn't know, Emi Buendia scored the penalty, by the way.
Composure! There!
No, in the corner. Keeper goes right way. He's got no hard
chance.
into the corner.
No chance. Great penalty from Buendia. Villa haven't really had... I think they've had maybe one penalty this season. Great finish. Look at the players celebrating. What a performance. Let's go and get a third.
Yeah.
So at this point... At this point, if you don't bring Morgan Gibbs-White on, then he was never going to play. So there needs to be a change now, and it's got to be Murillo on, Sangare on, Morgan Gibbs-White on, and you've got to play for the win because Aston Villa have deserved this, but it's not over just yet.
No, there's still a lot of football still to be played. Gabs, this has been... Oh, you all right?
Sorry, man.
No, you enjoying that chocolate.
Let me have a moment.
This from Villa, for the whole hour, has been seriously impressive stuff, hasn't it?
It's what they should be doing. Sorry, I got a mouthful of chocolate.
Okay. I probably shouldn't have asked
Don't make any chances. Aston Villa have been on top, second half as well. I'm surprised. Like Max says, I'm surprised that Murillo's not come on. They've been so shaky at the back. But your leader, Milenkovic, you can't... Foul.
That's a good tackle there. It's a good tackle because Rogers was literally in there. Right, can Forest now show a little bit of quality, Max? We know they've got the players to do that.
That's the thing.
It's almost like just take a breath, start playing football.
They can't hold on to it anymore.
Yeah, and you have got players we know that can hurt Aston Villa, right?
Yeah.
John McGinn has put in an all-time top performance, winning the ball back there. Look at the fans. When you give the fans 110%, you get it off the fan. You get it. You get that energy from the stands. John McGinn has put in a captain performance so far, but I'm not getting carried away. It's not
warming
over.
up there? Who's warming up in that top left-hand corner? Is that Morgan Gibbs-White at all?
Doesn't look like it, no.
Bakwa, and I don't think that's Gibbs-White.
Lorenzo
It's too tall
Luca.
to be Gibbs-White, doesn't it?
Biggest hanger on the club scene in a long time. But
who has?
Lorenzo Luca signed him in January, scored 1 goal for Napoli.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Did he make his debut at Leeds away, if I remember that correctly? 'Cause I remember watching him and being like, who's this guy? And why does he look so awkward?
And he actually scored.
But he didn't have a great performance though, did he?
No, he didn't.
And
He looked like a newborn
Guys, I'll tell you
horse moving.
Lindelof has worked.
Offside.
He's onside.
He's miles offside. Watkins is through. Watkins does score.
He's
The
offside,
offside
you know.
flag. Offside. I think even Watkins isn't going to complain to that one, is he? Yeah, the Lindelof call was a big call, by the way. With Douglas Luiz and Bogard in the squad, he's made a big call there. But so far, he's done his job in front of that back.
It's a big call, and it says a lot to Bogard and Douglas Luiz if you're those players on the bench. It says you're not up to the level, and sometimes you need that physical presence. You know who else are missing a player like that? Forest, no Sangare, no Onana, And Villa made the right choice in Lindelof, a presence on set pieces. He's winning the headers that are going in front of him towards Chris Wood.
30 minutes left.
Look at McGinn. Look at McGinn. He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
You've got to make some changes. Is that Morgan Gibbs-White? Yeah, that's Morgan Gibbs-White warming up on the right-hand side. So let's get him on. Simple as.
Is he warming up? You sure?
I'm sure I saw him with his mask in his hand. There he is.
Yeah, there he is. He's not...
Get the boy on the pitch.
He's gone to go and get his boots.
He's going to change the game. Terry Butcher, spirit of Terry Butcher. Come on, get those
bring
boots
him
on, Morgan.
If I'm Morgan Gibbs-White, I'm saying get me on. Yeah. Listen, forget the doctor.
Yeah. It's the Europa League semi-final. I'm not sitting on the bench while we're losing 2-1.
Kick the doctor out of the stadium. Yeah. I'm coming on.
I got a bit of pressure on him here. Win some second balls.
Go on then, Watkins. Drive. Go on then, Watkins.
Watkins against 5. Come on.
Ref.
Don't foul him. God, stupid. Good tackle, but you can't be fouling it. He's pulling on his shirt. Again, it's all unwise decisions from Forest. The situation's getting to them. Why isn't his shirt on?
Look at Gibbs-White. He's ready. Look at the manager. Please, manager. Please, gaffer. Don't listen to the doctor. It's fine. It's fine. I'll sign whatever you want. Just play me. I don't care about what happens afterwards. I'm fine. I got no concussion. Get my Peter Cech mask on. I'm totally fine.
Is it? What's he there for? What's he on the bench for?
Oh, McGinn! Oh, he should score!
Oh, he's got to score! He's gone safe.
The ball from the throw.
McGinn would normally put his foot through that. He's gone safe with the side of the foot.
The ball from the throw falls to John McGinn. Gabby, he's on the penalty spot, unmarked, and he just passed it to the keeper.
It's safe. He should smash that, put his foot through it. Oh, my God.
He tries to be too cute there, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, because that's what happens. You want to go safe, kind of just guide it in, because if I smash it, it could go over. But he's got the technique. Put your foot over it, goal. It's a massive chance. Villa have to go now. They have to go. 13 attempts to 2. Villa have to go and get the third. They have to.
Villa here, Gabby, thinking, kill this game off right now.
You don't have to, mate. We're
I
not
know,
creating anything.
I know, but you have to go and put Forest to bed. You have to.
Max, there was a Hutchinson shot, wasn't there? First 10 minutes. Other than that, you've barely been in the half, have you, really?
Oh, you got Lindelof running the show.
You're taking the mick now, you know that.
No.
It's just one of those.
It's giving the ball away.
It's looking
Forest.
Slightly dislocated, disjointed. And you've got to say, look, let's remind everybody, we played on Monday.
Yeah.
We've got 4 significant injuries in Murillo, Sangare, Olaraina and Morgan Gibbs.
Did rotate players Monday, though?
Yeah, we did, but we had lots of those players available. And I'm just saying, this is the context of the game. Forest have got to deal with that. I'm not making excuses, but that's the reality. But when Morgan Gibbs-White is on the bench, this is the biggest game of his life. Get him on the pitch and unleash.
Here we go, Max. Igor Jesus.
Play him to the right.
To his right. Hutchinson's in, right-hand side. He's got Wood in the box. He stands it up. It's a bad header. Well,
really
not the great ball. Whip it in with pace. Yeah, you don't want to loop that one up. Yeah.
Well, that's the negatives when you play a left foot on the right-hand side. Yeah. That's what happens.
You want to whip that with pace, don't you? Not stand it up.
Exactly. The Forest fans are confused, aren't they? Like, come on, players.
Well, I'm confused because Morgan Gibbs-White's been. He might have just gone out to warm up by himself to let the to let the manager know he wants to get on. But if you've put him on the bench, I know he's had a horrific injury, but he wants to play. And if you've put him on the bench, you've got 25 minutes left of the game. Roll the dice, Vitor.
Yeah.
Still love him though.
I like that from Martinez. No playing round the back now. Go forward. Look for John McGinn. Look at that. Great. Look at that.
That's the first challenge.
He shouldn't win that, should he? John McGinn shouldn't win that again. John
McGinn has been unbelievable.
He's everywhere.
He's flying like a bull.
I love to know how much ground he's covered tonight, John McGinn. He has not stopped running. He's been absolutely phenomenal, and probably should have put Aston Villa 3-0 up with that chance that he missed. Max, do you think has the occasion got to Forest tonight? The atmosphere, the intensity. It's almost like even the odd time you do get the ball in midfield, just a lack of composure.
Yeah, I think there's been a lack of composure. I wouldn't be able to say if it's the occasion. I just think Forest are suffering from, we've been playing non-stop for a long time, a lot of pressure on the team.
So Villa, to be fair, though, as well.
But we've got a lot more pressure on us in terms of staying in the Premier League.
True. That's fair.
And I just think that it's maybe reached a point where, is this a step too far? The occasion, the lack of, some really important players, but still some time, to go. Anything can change.
Max, that's fair.
Anything can turn.
The situation you've been in this season has been, because I know Spurs finished 17th last season, won it, but they were never in a relegation battle, were there? And this is where I've got a lot of respect for the manager, having to juggle European football, going deep in Europe, and have to literally keep this a club the size of Forest in the Premier League.
Let's not get twisted as well.
The juggle both isn't easy though, is it? To do that, he's done that pretty well.
There's one goal in it. Come on, this tie's still all to play for.
Yeah, but at the minute, there's only one side looks like scoring.
That's Rodgers at his best, gliding past a couple of players. Rodgers shoots. Keeper makes a good save down to his right-hand side.
That's why he's so good at Rodgers.
Those slalom runs.
Yeah, like you can't stop him. He's got the acceleration, the strength, and what I like about him, he's not scared to use his weaker foot. Tell you what,
Villa refers to absolutely everything here.
Pau Torres has been outstanding, by the way.
How many times has the long ball gone up to one of the Forest centre forwards, and whether it's Lindelof, whether it's Pau Torres, Konza, they get there first every single time.
Chris Wood's hardly touched the ball.
Villa just win the ball back.
Out of the game.
It's been quite comfortable at times.
The two centre forwards are gone as big, strong, physical lads. Every time the ball goes up, Villa winning it back pretty much immediately.
Yeah, no, Villa have been the better team so far. Villa have been, done exactly what they needed to do.
But the opposite though, Watkins is holding the ball up.
Yeah,
which Chris Wood and Jesus aren't.
Yeah, no, but look, we're missing Olorano, we're missing Murillo. One of them's on the bench. I don't understand why he's not putting him on the pitch.
I'm surprised there's not been any of the players you talked about. Murillo,
Sangare and Gibbs-White.
Sangare, Gibbs-White. I'm surprised that none of them have come on.
Was this a cheeky elbow? Is this a red card, VAR?
Well, two Forest players have gone down, holding their heads.
I think the Morato one.
An elbow?
Well, I don't know, but he went down like he'd been elbowed. Yeah. But, I mean, that's just a state of the game, isn't it?
Get up. Big softy.
Morgan Gibbs-White still sat there.
Doesn't look like he's coming on, mate. I don't know.
He looks like a man that's been told he's not playing.
He looks like a man who's like, bring me on. And I get it from his point of view. It's a horrible cut, but he's probably thinking like, come on, I'm okay. I can recover afterwards. We're probably safe in the Premier League. Bring me on. Get the mask on.
Mm.
And would the mask have been on from before as well, maybe?
Well, if I'm Marinakis, I'm like, I've paid thousands of pounds for this carbon fibre mask.
Yeah.
I want to get some use out of it.
I'm surprised it's not on though, Sam. Like now,
you put the mask when you come on, wouldn't you? Really?
It depends what one it is.
Well, what's he protecting from? What's he protecting from? Well, see, that's not bad from Amari Hutchinson. You've got to start taking some chances here. That's what Ryan Yates is on the pitch to do. By the way, he's an absolute nuisance.
Oh, referee. That's a foul.
The ref has let a lot go tonight.
Yeah, we like it. It's good for the game.
I think it's been good. Yeah,
the game's too sanitised as it is, and you've got to let some things go. There should be far. In a Premier League game, there might be some players sent off from yellow cards. Morato certainly.
Oh, the space here for Buendia to run into. Ryan Yates
ball.
Really, really well there.
No,
that's not a foul.
It is a foul.
I think Yates wins the ball there, doesn't he?
Just raving about him letting things go, and that's soft as anything.
2 up Aston Villa, 2 up on aggregate to confirm from the first leg. 67 minutes gone. There's still no Morgan Gibbs-White. He's still on the bench. He doesn't look like he's coming on anytime soon. But, Max, there is movement. That's Bakwa, and that is...
Peter Crouch. Lorenzo Luca.
Bringing on the big centre forward.
Lorenzo Luca has played literally a handful of times. He scored, when we stunk the place out at Ellen Road, a consolation goal. And...
I don't blame them though, Max, because Wood has offered nothing. Yeah, but you have to be fair.
But if Wood's not offering anything, let me tell you, Lorenzo Luca isn't.
Do you think he'll go backward for Dominguez?
Oh, he's bringing on
Yates
Taiwo's.
Put Yates into midfield and go Hutchinson and backward out wide.
I think he needs to. I think he needs more of a second
in the Europa League squad.
No, I don't. He's not right now.
Oh wow, he would have been one that you'd bring on. Yeah. He's got that strength and pace.
Over Luke, he would do.
Yeah, he's got that strength and pace.
What we can say is that any hope of Morgan Gibbs-White coming on has been completely lost.
Why?
Because if he was going to come on, surely he'd be the first substitution.
I agree. If you're going to bring him on, you're 60 minutes. You're bringing him on, especially 2-0 down.
Right then, boys. It's about time that it's about time that they've got to take the sort of own destiny in their own hands.
Take some risks.
You're the master of your own ship. Take some risk, and this is why I think the subs are probably the right thing in terms of bringing Bakwa on. He made a great goal against Chelsea, and he needs to go on and try and beat some players and be more direct. Yeah, because at the minute
it's been quite easy for Villa.
It's been very easy.
Yeah. Get some pace on the field and make it difficult. Make them have to defend. Make Villa have to
work for it.
Yeah, and
Elliot Anderson giving the ball away, very uncharacteristic.
He's miles offside there. Chris Wood is going through. I thought he looked offside. The flag stays down. Chris Wood saved anyway by the goalkeeper, and the offside flag does go up, but I think Villa might want to play advantage as Emi Buendia slips.
Ref, where's the advantage?
Well, he had the advantage. I think he did play it, didn't he?
Have a shot, and see, just those little moments there.
It's not sticking, is it, Max?
Look at Watkins, though. Look at him. Yeah. He's back there.
Put a ball
Look
in.
At that.
Who's there to help him?
Look at that. Watkins back there.
Gab, do you think some of the players almost knew that Sunday night was embarrassing and not good enough?
Saving themselves.
Even trying to prove a point tonight, yeah.
And they know that like they were such a disappointing performance. They had to.
Anderson! Oh, with kind of a cross shot. And again, can the centre forward there, Max, be a bit more brave and gamble on that good ball?
Yeah, he's got to anticipate it, but he has whipped it in with some pace. But this.
Oh, he's onside.
Oh, he's onside, by the way. Good shout. I think the flag did go up, but having a look at that replay, that Chris Wood 1-on-1, he was definitely onside. It was a poor finish, wasn't it, Gabs?
Yeah. He's got to go the opposite corner. He's trying to reverse it. It does work, but it's a great save from the keeper, by the way, because he's dived to his left, but left his feet hanging. Gibbs-White's not coming on.
Morato's coming off.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Backwards coming on, and the second, Chris Wood's coming off as well.
That chance has summed up his game. He's been poor today.
You never felt like he was going to score there, did you?
No, I didn't, mate. He looked offside, but he's got to do better there. If he lifts that, it's a goal.
Yeah. But even, I think, to the left-hand side, there was a lot of space to whip it across.
Yeah.
Gabs, if you do get to the final, which at the moment you are, it looks like it's going to be Freiburg. They've completely turned things around. They're 3-0 up now at home to Sporting Braga, so 4-2 up on aggregate. Villa 2, Forest 0. We got exactly 20 minutes left. Of course, it's not over yet. Forest are still very much in this tie. It's 2-1 in aggregate, while they've been poor tonight on the night, and they're 2-0 down. It's just one goal. They're very much in this game, but it is all Aston Villa at the moment. Once again, they're Gabby. That long ball comes up to Watkins. And he's going to win a free kick there. No, he's not. Buendia! Oh, Buendia, should do better.
Watkins again. He's bullied the centre halves of Forest. He has bullied them. There's no chance.
That was Nico Williams.
Yes, he's bullied. He's bullied the back four, not the centre halves. But he's bullied them today. A proper centre forward performance from Ollie Watkins. The opposite to Chris Wood and Igor Jesus. Simple as that.
First change. You reckon like for like Berghoff for Lindelof?
I wouldn't change it, to be honest. But Lindelof hasn't played a lot of football. Maybe he's looking at bringing him off and changing it up. But I wouldn't change anything.
Luca is going to win Forest a corner, Max.
Yeah, we'll take that. Fair play to him. You know, I've been a big critic of him in the very few minutes he's played for this great football club. But he's a big lump, and so get the ball on the top of his head.
Max,
score an equaliser and a winner, and all is forgiven.
Like I said, Villa do it the hard way. Yeah. Villa do it the hard way. It wouldn't surprise me if Forest get a goal. Villa have to get one more. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Or 3-1 to get the tie.
I think if Forest are going to score, it's going to be from a set piece.
Every Villa fan in that stadium knows Villa will do it the hard way.
Backward corner, whipped in, keeper comes and collects. Way too close to the goalkeeper, though. It's not a good corner, is it?
That's been the story of Forest season, though, boys. Our set pieces have been dreadful. I know we scored that corner.
He knows it as well.
He's not happy. He's not happy.
It's been like that all season. We cannot put the ball in the right area whatsoever. I know we scored a great corner against Spurs, but that was out of the blue. But Villa are sitting deep a little bit because they've got a lead. That's a free kick. Ref will take that.
Advantage.
Yeah, free kick. But no, I think Villa are sitting off, which is a little bit of a dangerous game. But naturally, that happens like this, doesn't it? When you've got that lead and you've got about 20 minutes left on the clock.
Why not play on a counter-attack?
Yeah,
26. Is Lindelof number 3 or was it Digne?
No, that's Lindelof.
Lindelof number 3, yeah. I'm surprised at doing that. Listen, he's been fantastic, but...
Big gamble. It paid off, Gabs.
Yeah, it's been a big gamble that's paid off. I know he's not played a lot of football, but he's not injured. Why bring him off? Why change it when it's working? He's big for set pieces as well. But very odd decision there to bring him off.
Yeah. You maybe
he's been very unlucky because he loves Pau Torres, and obviously Conce's the main man. He's unlucky not to play more football. Lindelof, great signing for Manchester United.
Yeah,
was it a free transfer as well?
Yeah, I think it was a free. Do you think maybe you sacrifice one of the attacking players and go with the extra man?
No. You know why? Because extra time easily.
Yeah, sure. And then you always could allow Forest on to.
And then you've made the changes. Why do that? Extra time. Nothing to change now.
What on earth is it? Oh.
I wouldn't change the thing. Keep it as it is. It's working. I don't see any more subs being made. The only sub that might get made is maybe Ian Martson for Digne.
He loves that one. He loves the left back.
He does love a left back sub, doesn't he?
There probably hasn't been a manager in Premier League history to sub a fullback as often as Martson comes on for Luca Dean.
Yeah.
We got a bit of a delay here. Matty Cash, former Forest player, of course, isn't he?
Yeah, we love Matty Cash.
Yeah, a lot of respect there.
Yeah, absolutely. One of our own came up, so we went bought by the
winger, weren't he?
Yeah, and he started as a winger and attacking midfielder, and then had an amazing season. Forest missed out on the playoffs, and then he went to Villa, and the rest is history. But yeah, we love him. Love him up in Nottingham. Top player, top lad.
Free kick for Forest. Hutchinson puts the ball in the box. Villa win the headers are clear. And again, Ollie Watkins wins the ball, and he wins a free kick. No, he doesn't.
Go on then, Rodgers. Who's chasing though?
Switch it to McGinn. McGinn's in. Oh, why is he not playing McGinn in, Gabs?
Because he has to do that extra little bit that's not necessary. The little flick first wasn't necessary.
But that wasn't a tough ball, was it? Yes, so
No,
much
but he could have done his left foot.
Yeah. I'm surprised a player of his quality doesn't find McGinn there, Gabby.
Yeah. He saw him, but he wanted to take another touch. It wasn't needed.
Oh, just last season.
I know, mate.
He puts down his right foot and plays him again, and he's got the goal at his mercy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Aston Villa, it's dangerous game though. If you try and see the game out, they've got to keep flying forward. Villa. Yeah. Look at his strength from McGinn. Wow. I've got all the Villa fans watching worldwide in the stadium. Look at them. They're clapping John McGinn.
John McGinn is
unbelievable.
He's been a stalwart.
Wow.
He's been fantastic.
Wow.
He's been brilliant.
Watkins again. Is he going to bullet? No. Oh, better defending from Milenkovic there.
But even when
he's roughing them up, mate. Watkins is up for this game. Yeah. Every Villa player on the pitch has been flying. They've been up for the game. Total difference to the weekend. Paul West Ham.
Say again?
Paul West Ham.
Yeah.
Where's this performance been?
Yeah. West Ham were thinking, cheers, Gabs. Cheers, Aston Villa. Gibbs-White does not. Also, he doesn't look happy.
Oh, he would have been told before the game, you're not coming on. Wouldn't he, Max? I'm sure he would have been told.
Then Max, what's the point in putting him on the bench in the first place? Like, why give? I mean, maybe it always gives Forest fans hope, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it gives the fans hope. But maybe they see it as a bit of sort of psychological warfare with Villa.
Exactly.
But when you know he's on the bench and he is technically available, and we don't know the conversations he's had with medical staff, it does make it really difficult to watch him sat there knowing that he could come on.
And for him as well, as a professional footballer, to be the best player, to not be able to come on and influence the game of this magnitude, Gabby, must be psychologically so hard for him.
But listen, we have to always think what's best for the players' health.
And you can just see those black eyes are grim, aren't they?
Oh, okay.
We are all over.
McGinn should score. McGinn!
Oh! Let's go! Get in there! What a man of the match performance from John McGinn. Wraps it up. Let's go. Istanbul. Book my flights. Turkish Airlines. Let's go, baby. Woohoo! What a counter-attack. Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers. They've ruined that Nottingham Forest defence. Woo!
I can't believe
one long ball.
How easy, all right, how easy it is. It's one long ball. Win the first header.
Come on.
Play to John McGinn. First time finish bottom corner. Max, that's just one simple long ball forward.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's a sign of a disorganised defence, a defence under pressure, a defence trying to sort of push up. But Amari Hutchinson, look at the space Amari Hutchinson's given John McGinn, and he's not even tracking back.
What a ball from Torres, though, into Morgan Rogers.
And the finish, Gabby.
Finish.
Outside the box, right foot, curls it far corner. That is a gorgeous finish.
Let's go. Proper. That's one of the most 10 out of 10 performances you'll see in a knockout game. John McGinn. One of the best performances you'll see in a knockout game. He's been everywhere.
And look at what it means to the manager, Gabby.
Of course he does. That's what he's about. Europa League king,
on his
Sam.
knees.
The Europa League king. He's Unai Emery. He's done it again. Let's go. Now see the game out.
Long ball comes forwards. Morgan Rogers is able just to win the first ball to Ollie Watkins, and John McGinn has literally got as much space as you like. First time finish, opens up his body, curls it bottom right-hand corner, calm, composed.
Pau Torres. That's why he's in the team. That's the difference between Torres and McGinn. McGinn's not finding that pass. Even to see it, because as a defender, you're probably thinking, that's a tough ball to make. Torres is that good at passing, lifts it over. He sees Rogers between the centre-halves.
Yeah. But also,
many centre-halves can play that ball.
But then Villa probably can't believe the luck that it's 3-on-2. Win the first ball and McGinn's just in, right?
Let's be honest. It's been a bit all over the place for Forest. Who's playing where? Anderson was on the left.
I think Yates has gone to right back now, hasn't he? I think
centre midfield.
Yeah. Well, no,
it's like the Morgan Gibbs-White being out of the team has literally caused chaos with Forest lineup.
Mac, do you even know what sort of the formation and system is here? Do you even know what Pereira is trying to do with these subs? Because he's brought on backward for a centre back, Yates on for McAtee, and the centre forwards is like for like. Is Dominguez gone to right back?
I have no idea.
Go on then, Rogers. Go.
McGinn's in.
Again. It's another one. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle, referee. Blow the whistle. Where's the white flag?
What's the finish again?
It's in there. 4-0. See you later. Have some of that. Look at our future king. Look at him celebrate. Get in there!
The ball falls to John McGinn.
Oh!
Almost identical as his
Near
first
post,
goal.
though.
But this time he whips it near post.
That's clever, though.
Do you want to do the John McGinn celebration?
That's clever, though. He sees that the goalkeeper's probably thinking same corner, reverses it. What a performance. What a performance. Look at this, though.
Emi Buendia, left-hand side, plays it infield to Bogard, who's strong. Plays
Morgan
it into Morgan
Rogers.
Rogers.
Finds
Morgan
him.
Rogers picks out John McGinn. First
Near
time
post.
finish, near
Oh,
post.
have some of that. Villa, 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 Villa. Get in there, my son. Near post. Where do you want it? There.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Ortega.
And that's Morgan Rogers there, this time finding the right pass.
And the right weight on the pass as well, so you can hit it first time.
Yeah, literally.
Nottingham Forest have capitulated.
Yeah. But we'll talk, but Gabs, from a Villa point of view, could you in your wildest dreams have imagined you were going to be this good and this clinical tonight?
No, I didn't. On recent performances, I haven't. Even Onana's celebrating with an injury. Don't make your injury any worse, Onana. You rest up. But every single player on that pitch has been at 100%. That's what I says. They have to be. Every player has to be at it. They have. All part of the plan. 1-0 in the first leg. It was all to play for, and these players have turned up.
You could tell from the first 5 minutes, Gabby, they were first to every ball, stronger, more physical. We talk about Ollie Watkins. Oh, that's by the way. I'm not a Forest fan, but I don't like the poor Morgan Gibbs-White has got his head in his hands. Poor guy, he's been one of the best players in the league this season, not able to impact the game, Max. That's a sorry side, not just a Forest fan, but as a football fan. I don't like to see that.
It's a picture of Forest evening, isn't it? And
wow,
sort of really disappointing turn of events from that Chelsea game, and that's obviously been a crucial moment. But
John McGinn,
I'll say it at full time, but hats off to Villa.
Wow.
He's been everywhere, hasn't he? He's been an absolute beast.
Is ever a team you don't really want to be like chasing the game? Villa as well. They're so good at keeping the ball.
Yeah,
guys, they're very good at seeing games out.
Look at there, Morgan Rogers there roaring in front of the whole end.
My voice hurts.
Are you booking your tickets, Gabs? Are you talk sporting it, or you going?
I've always wanted to go to Istanbul.
Yeah, of course you have.
It's been on my bucket list.
Yeah,
love the place.
Yeah,
love the culture.
Good place to go for a few days.
Place. I think it makes sense for me to go.
Yeah,
Are
you thinking the breakfast show on the Wednesday morning? Go to the game.
That's what I've heard might be the plan.
Is that the plan?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the finances are there.
Oh, are they really?
I think they are. They can stretch the budget to make it happen.
Gabby's Euro tours are back.
I don't mind flying via Denmark. I don't mind to get there.
Flying economy, is that right?
I don't mind, mate.
Yeah, you're good. Man of the people.
My own flights. I don't care.
Yeah.
I can actually dump that.
He ain't paying for his own flights. Gabs, Jadon Sancho coming on.
Listen, I get it. Fresh legs. Fresh legs.
Yeah.
Listen.
We got John McGinn, European semi-final hat-trick. Can it happen?
Wouldn't surprise me. Listen, we said it before the game. This player turns up. This player will play anywhere. I spoke to him many times, and he centre midfield where he wants to play. Like
John McGinn.
Yeah, he wants to play centre midfield, but he won't. For the sake of the team, captain, he'll play wherever he's.
And when you got Tielemans, Onana, and Kamara when he's fit, you got options down midfield, don't you?
Honestly, I was at the Bayern Munich game. I was at the PSG game last year. This atmosphere here, I'm jealous. I'm not there.
Yeah, well,
that'll be electric.
You're having fun with us.
That will be electric there, by the way, because they have not turned up against Olympiacos over 2 legs. FA Cup semi-final against Crystal Palace didn't turn up. This was a game where many Villa fans were very nervous, and the team have turned up.
They've been absolutely outstanding. 7 minutes to go of normal time. A dangerous free kick was whipped in from backward left-hand side. No Forest players made the run. Morgan Rogers heads it out for a corner kick.
Of claret and blue, you can hear us singing since 1982. Ole, ole, ole. Oh, wow.
You have the whole tenders in the sky, or say that?
Everything, mate, everything. But let's defend this.
Possibly a Forest corner here. And it could possibly start the most unlikely of comebacks. Nico Williams with a high and
great set piece.
Yeah, that is not.
Don't care if he headbutted him in the head there. Don't you dare give a foul, ref. Don't you dare give a foul.
Yeah,
that's what happened with Watkins.
I mean, the corner though is pretty pathetic, isn't it?
I have to say though, I did expect a lot more from Forest. I really did. Like, they haven't turned up all game. It's harsh to say it, Sam and Max. Don't know if you agree. They've had stage fright, mate.
Do you think that's what it is, Gabs? You think the
because yes, Gibbs-White's not been available, but the players they've got on the pitch, Hutchinson, not done much. Anderson's been poor. Dominguez poor. Centre half have been bullied. Nico Williams at left back, he's been run around by John McGinn.
Max, would that be a fair assessment, mate?
You still there, Max?
Yeah, no, you're doing the talking, Gabs. That's
Sorry,
fine.
mate.
No, and I'm happy for you too. You know, it's been a brilliant performance.
Oh, love that, Cashy.
So yeah, crack on.
Yeah.
I mean, look, yeah, Aston Villa have been fantastic. You know, they've done what a lot of people had written them off. You know, a lot of people had said that they hadn't got the sort of attitude. They'd lost 3 on the bounce, and obviously the momentum was with Forest. But momentum comes to an end, and it's come to an end horrifically for Forest tonight. And it's a sad situation with Morgan Gibbs-White, but the better team over, on the night has won the game. And fair play to Unai Emery, fair play to John McGinn, by the way. One of the best performances I've seen in a long time. He's been, indomitable. He's been, a proper captain's performance. So fair play to Villa, fair play to John McGinn, and I hope Villa go on and win it.
Yeah, obviously you haven't won it yet, Gabs.
No,
I have to say, I've got Arsenal fans messaging me right now, Gabby. So you gave Arsenal fans some stick, didn't you? Hey, by the way, I haven't got a problem with it, like Arsenal fans celebrating, but I'm telling you what Arsenal fans are telling me, Gabby.
This is totally fine. I'm celebrating. Aston Villa players will celebrate, but I don't think there'll be a concert.
I don't. A concert.
I don't think there would have been
fireworks.
I don't think they would have asked the council for 2 hours of fireworks, like it's bonfire night.
2 hours of fireworks.
I don't think that will happen. Listen, it's a fantastic...
Oh, I really hope there's fireworks now tonight, by the way. I hope there is the biggest display of fireworks I've ever seen in my life, Gabby. Woo! Well, he's bringing on Murillo now, isn't he? After 86 minutes, but I'm not being funny. This feels a little bit too late, Mr. Pereira, doesn't it?
Good change.
This is the confusing thing. And look, I'm not going to go big on this. Vitor Pereira's saved this football club and took us on an amazing run and given us some amazing moments. But why are you bringing him on, risking him for 4 minutes when you need to score 3 goals?
Yeah.
He'll probably put him up top. What is
Max,
the point of that?
Max,
what is the point?
Max, you tell me wrong here. I'm a little bit confused as to what Forest's game plan was. I'm a little bit confused by what the substitutions were supposed to try and achieve. And I've got sympathy for the gaffer if Gibbs-White can't come on shore, but I am surprised at how weak. Because he's done such a good job. You've been such a good team the last couple of months, but I do think you've been a little bit pathetic tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, Sam. I think we have been pathetic. You look at, Ollie Watkins has won pretty much everything that's come up there. John McGinn, as I say, has been unstoppable. And Chris Wood, and Igor Jesus have been absent. And when they were an absolute nuisance under the lights at the City Ground last week, they look like different players. But there you go. It's
quite pathetic from a Nottingham Forest point of view.
I just expected a bit more fire more now. That's the basic analysis, but
the sports bar later will have a lot of Forest fans disappointed. They're safe. It's a semi-final. The history of this football club.
Yeah.
Wander up, have a go. You know what it is as well? The game. They've not defended and they've not attacked.
Yeah.
It's like they've been in the middle of a defensive formation and an attacking formation. It's like they've done nothing. It's been quite comfortable for Villa since early on in the first half.
The first 5, they had that one Hutchinson chance. But you're right. Villa have just...
Stewards are out. Pitch invasion.
Oh, no pitch invasion.
Oh, no. Don't be doing that, guys. Can't celebrate that.
Have you got a celebration lined up for us, the full time? What have you got for us? First time, Gabby. Maybe the first and only time.
I don't want to lie, but I have booked a bar.
You booked a bar?
London Bridge to go to after the show.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got some friends that are watching it. I'm going to go have some drinks, some celebrations.
Okay.
See where the night takes me.
Okay. Are we allowed to follow you in there with cameras?
We can all go, mate. Free bar.
Is it a free bar?
Free bar. Yep.
Oh, producer Jamie's eyes have lit up there, by the way. Goodness.
I don't know where we'll end up, but let's go celebrate.
All right. You have to be here at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Nah, yeah, why not? I'll work now.
Confirmation, Palace are in the Conference League final. Well done to them. They have beaten Shakhtar Donetsk 2-1 on the night. They will face Rayo Vallecano in the Conference League final.
Get in there, Torres. Sums up his game as well. Pau Torres. There's always been talk about his defending, but today he's been unstoppable back there and going forward as well on the ball. Fantastic.
90 seconds left of normal time. It looks like Villa are gonna make a couple of changes.
You know what would make the tie now?
John McGinn hat-trick.
No. Morgan Rogers, Megs on Anderson. I know he's probably drifting around him.
He is,
Come anywhere near me.
Yeah. He's been a beast, Pau Torres, by the way, at the back.
You're going to get popped through your legs. That's what you're going to get. Wow, what a performance.
Yeah, Douglas Luiz and Leon Bailey are coming on, and Tyrone Mings as well.
Yes.
Look at Onana, by the way. He was getting involved, isn't he?
Save the players for the final.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Morgan Rogers coming off. No Megs and Elliot Anderson.
Off you come, guys. Come on.
Gabs, have we got a few minutes to go with the game? Oh, John McGinn's coming off. Gabs, I'll let you wax lyrical about him.
This guy, listen, I'll speak to him a little bit, John McGinn, and he is probably, I'm talking the last 2 decades, Aston Villa's most important player. He's Aston Villa legend already, and it's nice like this that you're remembered as a player. Semi-final, your team needs you. You had a slight hamstring injury for the weekend. You wasn't risked, and you turned up. Look at the players hugging him. It's a captain's performance.
Yeah.
The amount of times I spoke to him, Sam, and he said to me, "Listen, we've got to do better. This manager, we've got to get results for this manager." He appreciates his manager more than anyone else. He knows how lucky Aston Villa are to have him, and we Villa have to win trophies to keep him. And it's been an outstanding performance.
Gabs,
legendary.
The 2 goals are great, but he's a warrior, isn't he? He's a
everything.
He's been everywhere.
Yeah, like, he'll go toe to toe with you. You know what's hilarious, right? This player, we had a bit of banter the other day on text, and it was like, "Yeah, I wasn't great against Fulham. It was too hot. I like it when it's cold, rainy and windy." That's what he says. "I like it when it's cold, rainy and windy." Obviously, tongue-in-cheek, a joke, but that doesn't surprise me. He's that sort of player. I don't want it to be warm and hot. I want it to be horrible cold, and I'll stand up. But, that's an effort for Forest.
Is that the first one on target?
Yeah. Story of our night, innit, at Gabs?
The poor Forest fans. But you know what, though? In the first leg, we saw the guys speaking to the social media team. We saw the fireworks. We saw the celebration. See you in Istanbul. All they're going to see now is the traffic on the motorway home. So.
All they're going to see now is the traffic on the motorway home. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Max. I like Max. I'm sorry, but it's
I know you have your moment. Look, it's a special
hard
night.
not to gloat because this is... I did not see this game.
It's all right, mate.
I did not see 4-0, mate. I saw a 1-0, 2-1.
After Sunday, I fancy Villa tonight.
Go to extra time. But to be so comfortable, it's very odd.
It's a difficult one as a Forest fan. It is but Gabs, look, this is your night. You can enjoy it. I'm not going to get salty about it, but really disappointing from my boys. They've looked lacklustre, disjointed. I think it's been a limp-wristed defence of a 1-0 lead in the biggest game in the club's recent history. So
semi-final, you got to put in more of a.
But the context of it is though, and we got to remind ourselves, and this isn't an excuse. We've not been good enough on the night. But there's no Gibbs-White, no Murillo, no Sangare, no Ola Aina, and we played on Monday. So, congrats to Villa, fair play.
Gabs, 2.5 minutes to go. Aston Villa in the Europa League final. We know the job that Unai Emery's done in terms of taking you from relegation into the Champions League, Champions League football next season via the top 5. But this Villa team, they've been too good for too long not to get their hands on a trophy. This team deserved that big moment, don't they, a week on Wednesday?
And there's been many eras. My era, we failed. I feel this group of players are going to succeed, and they need to because they've got a very good group of players. They've got a manager who knows how to win competitions. Listen, all Villa fans were traumatised by recent results. He's calm. 1-0, no problem. Ty's still on. He knows they would have learnt a lot from the game and knew what formation to play, what players. And even Sunday, there'll be no Villa fan now complaining about last Sunday against Spurs. No. Worry about yourself. We don't care about the relegation as a problem. West Ham, you've got 38 games to keep yourself safe. Not our problem.
Gabs, Aston Villa was it 6-7 years ago in the Championship? It's been 30 years since you've last won a trophy.
Incredible.
What will this mean for the city, for the people of Aston Villa?
Like I said before the game, there'll be so many fans that are going through a rough time, illness, lost their job, lost their partner, whatever it is they're going through. Today will bring them so much joy. It's been too long. It's been generations, 3 generations that haven't got a chance to see their team win. Look, even here now, this is what you want to see. Tielemans going forward, unlucky. But like I says, it's fantastic, but nothing's done yet. Same as Arsenal. Freiburg will put up a tough challenge in the final, and every Aston Villa fan will be looking to book travel.
We got a minute left then of normal time. Aston Villa lead Nottingham Forest 4-0 on the night, 4-1 on aggregate. I'm sure the Villa fans...
He lost the ball, honestly. Leon Bailey, dearie me.
Yeah.
Thank God he's only
Ryan
just come on.
Yates.
What he does, just gives the ball away. It's anything like it. Ooh, what a result, though. I feel like everyone has been an 8, 9 out of 10. Some John McGinn, 10 out of 10. Watkins and John McGinn, standout players. Torres has been a rock. But like Max says, different game with Gibbs-White's playing. Now Murillo.
He's just that one there midfield would have had a little bit of composure.
Hudson-Odoi as well. He always causes mate cash problems. So Villa have had the luck maybe of injuries, but you can only beat what's in front of you.
Of course.
And they've turned up. Aston Villa. It matters.
Gabby, we're nearly at full time. We have played the 4 minutes of additional. This guy, by the way, I know he gets the love, but is he still underrated by some people?
Well, he is.
He's an absolute genius, isn't he?
You get all the idiot Arsenal fans who say, glad we got rid of him, glad about this. Listen, you didn't get the right chance at Arsenal. Didn't get £1 billion like Arteta has. If he stayed there longer and cleared out the dead wood, he would have. But what he's done with this Aston Villa side, the players he's brought in last summer, only spending 30 million, the lowest in the Premier League. Look at the squad of players he's got. And he's not scared to make big decisions. Harvey Elliott, don't fancy you.
Even Lindelof starting tonight.
Yeah. Look at him. You know, he's not doing an Arteta, is he? Look at him. Proper manager. He's not doing the hate Macarena like Arteta around the football pitch. Clap the fans, get off the pitch. There's one of the sporting directors there. Hierarchy, get off the pitch.
He's literally straight down the tunnel.
Yeah, because he
doesn't even applaud the whole end, does he?
It's a fantastic achievement, but it's not job done.
I say this a bit tongue in cheek. He's the sort of coach. He's on that bus, looking at Freiburg.
100%.
Getting.
100%.
Looking at the way
I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Look at the Villa fans. Everyone will be buzzing there. You know, there's no fireworks. There's no Linkin Park on. No concert.
How do you know? We haven't got the sound on the TV.
I can hear, mate. I can hear.
It could be Linkin Park for all you know.
But I like that, you know, Arteta was jumping up and down and celebrating like they'd won it. Look at the players. John McGinn, respectful. They're not jumping in a big huddle and doing a big celebration. That's how you celebrate a semi-final. When you win a final, that's when the celebration comes.
Max, tough night, mate. I hate to ask, but just how are you feeling now, mate? And have you been just a bit surprised at how poor that was from Forest?
Yeah, of course you have. It was a bit of a shock to the system. You thought with the momentum that Forest had, despite all the injuries that we've got, despite missing a talisman like Morgan Gibbs-White, that they'd put up a little bit more of a fight. But I don't think it's time really to... Look, Vitor Pereira's still done an incredible job. Vitor Pereira's, until today, been unbeaten in 10, taking us 6 points clear of relegation. Surely Forest are safe. This was always a bonus. But besides that, Villa were magnificent. John McGinn giving the keys to the city in Birmingham. You know, I say this from, as we said this before the game. Two Midlands clubs of rich history. It wasn't Forest night. It's not Forest time. I sincerely hope Aston Villa go and win that.
That's a good man, isn't it? By the way, Gabby? That's a respectful man, isn't it?
We know that he's a good man. I would have been the same.
Fair play, Max.
But like, when a club means to you as much as Villa means to me, the same with Max and Forest. When you see the fans celebrating there, the whole end. They've been crying out for this.
But just to let you know, it's not Linkin Park, it's Sweet Caroline. How do you feel about that?
Sweet Caroline.
Oh, Gabby, are you okay with this, mate?
It's okay.
Are you sure?
No, this is okay. I don't see anyone jumping on top of each other. Celebrate with the whole
They
end,
should be
problem.
celebrating though, Gabby. Come on now.
I get celebrate to a certain degree. But I think Arsenal overdid it. You know, the Villa fans are there. They're not getting carried away. It's a great result. And see you in the final in Istanbul, mate.
In Istanbul. And it's a week Wednesday. It's a quick turnaround, isn't it?
It's a week Wednesday. Before the Man City game.
Yeah.
So good luck for Arsenal.
I hope Arsenal fans aren't expecting.
Don't depend on us in that game.
But Gabby, all the Villa players there linking arms. They're going to do the old away in front of the whole end.
Mate, it means a lot. Of course it does. Onana, be careful, mate. You might.
He's not moving freely, is he? There, Onana.
I love this though. I love this from the Villa players because a lot of people question them. I questioned them. And I said, I want to see after this game if they've got the cojones to get through a semi-final.
Yeah.
And they've shown it. You know, Villa normally do it the hard way. Today, there was not really any threat from Nottingham Forest.
They're trying to push Onana in to do... Yeah, there we go.
Amazing.
That's great.
Buzzing for all of those Aston Villa fans there. This is the club with heritage. Look at Emi Martinez there. Spider-Man.
Mate, he might not have even been there if he got his own way this time last year.
I know, but he's there. Listen, fantastic night. This is... Thursday nights in Birmingham. Maybe the old Bushwhackers was open. They'll be celebrating. Fantastic.
We've got about 90 seconds left. Then we're handing over to the sports bar. So if you're watching on talkSPORT's YouTube channel with smart TVs, don't go anywhere. O'Hara and Cunningham coming up imminently. Looking back on this game this evening. Gabs, I'll just leave then the last word with you, mate. It's been a long time for a big football club not winning a trophy. In the Championship, 6, 7, 8 years ago. What would this mean to you, to the city and the people of Aston Villa?
It will mean the world to every Aston Villa fan across the world, the millions that will be watching this game. This is where this football club should be. You know, European Cup winners in 1982. This is where they belong. Champions League football next season and to win the Europa League. Up the Villa. Look at them. They've celebrated. They're walking off now. Go and do your warm down. Big game on the weekend against Super Burnley. You know, we didn't overdo it like Arsenal. Proper club. Proper club.
Unbelievable, Gabs. How are you getting so many mentions of Arsenal win when Aston Villa have just reached a European semi-final? Watkins and Wendy are doing TV interviews. You can see that Gabs, he's got that little cut, hasn't he, above his eye. I know he got the first goal. He was an absolute beast.
He was a menace.
He won everything, didn't he?
A menace. It was a sort of performance where not one bit of him would have been blowing, tired.
Yeah.
It's like, we have to win this game. All the players provided Aston Villa fans with one hell of a performance. But Ollie Watkins, John McGinn, Pau Torres.
Well, were you, after Sunday,
I salute you.
Were you a little bit like, because you did say, if they don't get off to a good start, you used the word toxic, because
It would have been.
Sunday had a weird atmosphere to it,
Yes,
didn't it?
it would have been. And all Arca says, Villa fans will forgive them for Sunday if they get the result, and they have done. Fantastic performance. Look at that. Going into battle. If that was 90% of the players in the Premier League, they'd probably be at A&E now. You know, like with some ice on their forehead. Ollie Watkins played on, soldier, and then man of the match performance.
Yeah, he was brilliant. And Ollie Watkins, that's why, and I'm saying this, my team have just been embarrassed 4-0. Ollie Watkins needs to be in the World Cup.
Yep.
I think being dropped by Thomas Tuchel was probably the best thing that happened to him. And tonight, he's shown the character that he's got, because he was nowhere in the first leg.
Yes, I agree.
And he's absolutely bullied a defence that are much bigger than him, much stronger than him. And he's been absolutely wonderful, doing the dirty work, doing the work that nobody expects him. Thomas Tuchel, get him on the plane, because that was wonderful.
I agree.
And finally, why am I saying this? But John McGinn. John McGinn is one of the most underrated, underappreciated players in the Premier League. Give him the keys to the city. He's like a granite rock, impossible to. And we're talking about Elliot Anderson, who all the stats say is one of the top midfielders in Europe this season, is clearly a crucial part of Thomas Tuchel's England plans. He's been nowhere because John McGinn has shut him up. And fair play to Aston Villa. I sincerely hope that this sort of an English team with great history from the Midlands, beautiful part of the world, God's country we call it, I hope they go and win. I really do, because they deserve it off that. They deserve it. And Unai Emery deserves it.
Maybe not the right time to ask this, Max, now, but do you think Vitor Pereira is the man to go again next season?
Oh, mate, yeah, it is a bit early, but I think despite this, that was a limp-wristed, pathetic, almost embarrassing defence of a one-goal lead in the most important game in the club's history in a long time, Sam. But Vitor Pereira still, I'm not changing my mind on him. He has taken this club from going in one direction and one direction only, and he's lifted these players out of the mire. And tonight wasn't good enough, but what did he need to do? He needed to keep Forest in the Premier League, and bar an absolute miracle, Forest will be in the Premier League next season, and we can rebuild. So, let the powers that be make those decisions, but he's been wonderful for us despite tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely fair play. Gabs, what's the WhatsApp group saying? What are the Villa boys saying?
Well, there's people from talkSPORT saying, would you like to fly out on the Monday?
Oh, is it already?
Apparently.
Already? Unbelievable.
Yeah, you know.
You know you're a big deal when you're getting your tickets booked for you. 15 minutes in. So plans go on the Monday, breakfast Tuesday, Wednesday.
I think McCoy's is going to be over there, so hopefully maybe. I think it's a Wednesday night game, isn't it?
I think Wednesday evening.
Maybe do the show Wednesday, Thursday morning from there. Beautiful. Know, take the family, How
many kids you got?
I don't know, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 kids. 4 kids. No, you know what? I'm happy.
Are they all big Villa fans or something?
Yeah, they are massive Villa fans. But I'm just happy for the fans. Like I says, and Max agreed. Football means so much to people. The talk is going to be obviously Aston Villa thrashing Forest 4-0, but these players understood the job. These Aston Villa players understood the job, and Forest at the end of the season will look back and say didn't perform in the second leg, but you know what? The main aim was to stay in the Premier League, and
of course,
they'll come again.
Yeah, no, of course they come again. I'll just confirm their results then tonight. In all of Europe, Aston Villa 4, Nottingham Forest 0. They will face Freiburg in the Europa League final in a week Wednesday, just short of 2 weeks' time. Freiburg did really well to come down from 2-1 down on aggregate to get past Sporting Braga. Congratulations, Crystal Palace as well. I know we've been focusing on Villa Forest this evening, but my goodness me, what a year or so it's been for Oliver Glasner and Crystal Palace. They won the FA Cup, they got the Community Shield, they are one game away from another trophy and another season in Europe next year if they can beat Rayo Vallecano in the Conference League final. Well done, Crystal Palace. They have got a Conference League final to look forward to in a couple of weeks' time. But Aston Villa are the team that are through to the Europa League.
Up the Villa!
Beating Nottingham Forest 4-0 on the night. A perfect performance from Villa. John McGinn scoring 2 goals. Morgan Rogers back to his best. And also, Gaz, by the way, the Lindelof call from Unai Emery was a big one to put him in that number 6 position. He was solid, wasn't he? Did the job.
That's what you pay the big bucks. That's all you pay compensation. Was it 6 million to get him out of? Was it Villarreal they got him out of? That's why. Nights like this. Up the Villa, Sam. Up the Villa.
Yeah. I mean, Max, the one big chance for us, really, it was the Chris Wood one, which we thought was offside at the time, which he wasn't, but they're just the big chances, the big games you need to go in, don't you?
Yeah, it's all about moments in it's all about moments in this game. And look, I just look and I think about where I've been as a Forest fan, losing against Rochdale away, and the fact that we're talking about losing a semi-final in Europe. It's been pretty good for Forest, and I always try and sort of see things positively because I know how bad it can be. I know how low a club can go.
You see big clubs like Sheffield Wednesday, right? Leicester going down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and these things happen. And what this club has managed to achieve, despite how disappointing tonight is nothing short of incredible. And Forest been in European semi-final. And I want to focus on the fact I'll look back this season and be like, I was able to be at the City Ground under the lights in a European semi-final, and although it didn't end the way I wanted it to, I got to sit there with my sister, who we've been going with my dad to football since we were 5 years old. Before we were even before that, we weren't technically allowed to be at a game. Forest part of my life, and it will always be a part of my life, and ultimately that's what it's about. And we'll come again. Forest are a stunning team to be a part of. Sometimes it's not good for your heart rate, it's not good for your whatever levels there are, but. We'll be there. We'll be there again. And, it is what it is. Congratulations to Villa. Yeah. They obviously deserved it. And I hope they go and win it.
Yeah. But it does feel like the future's bright, right? Because there's so many good players.
Mate.
And we know that the owner is an owner that's going to want to invest in the club and not just stand still, right? He's got big ambitions for Nottingham Forest Football Club.
Yeah, of course he does. His ambition's never going to change. And love him or loathe him. And people like to scapegoat him. People like to to use him as a stick to beat Nottingham Forest with, but without Evangelos Marinakis, Forest, he's had the gall and the courage to dream that something special can happen. I remember we got promoted. He was on the steps of the town hall in Nottingham City Centre, and he said, "We're going to re-establish ourselves as a European team, as one of English's biggest teams." And in 4 years, we're on the way. And look, with Forest, it's all it's never a straightforward line. But the fact that we're here, what I'd say to Forest fans is, just remember where we were. Just remember how bad it can be. And it's been a terrible night. It's been a terrible performance. But this group of players have had 4 managers. This group of players have had their talisman in Morgan Gibbs-White. Have his head cut open in half. And what they've managed to do, despite all of the adversity, despite tonight, is they've given Forest fans hope. They've given Forest fans belief, and they've given Forest fans another season in the Premier League. And if you'd have spoken to any Forest fan a few years ago and you'd have said you'll be in a European semi-final against Unai Emery and a top-class Villa side, they'd have bitten your hand off. They'd have sold their house, given their mortgage and said, I'll take that. And so I just think it's good to have a bit of perspective. I know people online and people on Twitter will be giving it large, and they'll be picking on certain players, and they might even be going with Vitor Pereira. But Vitor Pereira's taken this club to a level that nobody thought they were capable of, and I'd rather choose to be thankful and appreciative of the fact that we've even been able to experience this. So, onwards we go for Forest.
Yeah, well said. Gabs, he's gracious in defeat, isn't he? Which is nice. Not all football fans are like that, are they?
No, I think as well. Like, he'll understand as well, and all Forest fans understand. Like, the pressure was more on Villa. The pressure on Forest is staying in the Premier League. You get to a semi-final, yes, you want to win
up in a semi-final
after the first leg. I get that, but you're playing a team that they've been favourites all season for a reason, and Unai Emery, 4 Europa League wins. We all maybe thought Aston Villa might find it difficult tonight, but it's what he does, Sam.
He does. And it's even just
Conference League. He wasn't used to that competition, so we failed.
Yeah.
So maybe it's always Champions League. We failed quarterfinals. So maybe now it's the one step further.
Yeah.
And we win the final.
Yeah.
And I'll be unbearable, mate. So all you guys that are watching on YouTube, it's going to be a nice month ahead.
What do you mean you're going to be unbearable?
Unbearable.
When Villa win it will just be...
because the amount of text and the amount of pressure has been on me and myself. On the talkSPORT screens, on my Twitter, on my Instagram, it's been, you better win on Thursday, because Friday morning on the 10 a.m. show, Funboy Fridays, you're going to get it. See you nice and early. I might do 2 shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I might do breakfast with Dino tomorrow.
Okay.
I might do every show.
You might do every show tomorrow?
Why not?
Yeah, I think you should come in like 9:30 maybe tomorrow morning.
I won't stay in London all day.
Yeah, do a little bit. So talk to me. Are the boys out and about in the London Bridge bar having a couple of drinks?
The boys are
What's the plan of
about. I'm
action?
going to go and get on the. I'm going to have whiskey.
Oh, whiskey tonight.
I don't even like whiskey.
You don't like
I
whiskey?
my brown spirits. It's not. I'm going to have whiskey.
Why are you drinking a drink you don't like then?
Because, I just feel like try something different, get out your comfort zone.
Okay.
I mean, Sam.
Drink a drink that you like if you're going to celebrate your team reaching a European final, right?
Whiskey and Coke, mate.
Okay.
I'm speaking to talkSPORT, they're messaging me.
Okay. Who's messaging you?
A Deck. He's
Deck's a good man.
About flights.
That's very Deck.
And he's looking on the Monday.
Straight on it.
But he's looking on the Monday, but I'm in the Algarve that weekend.
Okay.
So I've asked him, can you book me a flight from the Algarve?
Okay.
I'll turn up to Istanbul in my shorts.
It's how the other half live, isn't it, boys? From the Algarve to Turkey, cha-ching, happy days.
My flip-flops, my sunglasses.
No one wants to see your feet, Gabby. No one wants to see your feet.
Up the Villa!
Up the Villa.
Up the William Hill. Let's go!
There we go. And up the William Hill. Max, you've been absolutely brilliant tonight, mate. I'm sorry tonight wasn't United. What a great run. What a great journey. Hopefully we can get you on the show again soon. You've been watching talkSPORT Goals. Aston Villa in the Europa League final. Up next in this very studio, O'Hara Kundi taking your calls. But Gabby Abonhor, I think it's only right to take us into the break, take us into the next show. You want to give us a whole Henders in the sky? Over to you, my friend. Well done.
Hold senders in the sky. Yeah, boy.
Sports Bars next.